What's up everyone? Welcome to my free Google Ads course. In this course, I'm going to be going through a lot of the different Google Ads campaigns. I'm going to be teaching you how to set up conversion tracking. I'm going to teach you how to enable remarketing and create remarketing campaigns. You can use this table of contents, and there's also a clickable table of contents in the video description, so you can easily jump around if you're looking for a specific type of campaign. Otherwise, if you want to just learn about all the different types of campaigns that you can run in Google Ads, the only major campaigns I'm not going to be going over in this video are app campaigns, mobile app campaigns, shopping campaigns, and local campaigns. Otherwise, you're going to learn how to create a search campaign, performance max campaign, discovery ads, display ads, YouTube advertising, Google Ads remarketing, and call campaigns. Now, one quick note, the website I use a lot in this course, farmhousegoals.com, is currently being switched to a new server, so it's probably going to be live at the end of the week. I'm working on a few things in the back end as I'm transferring it to another server, and I'm working on a few things content-wise. So the website will be back live, but if you go to reference it about a week or 10 days after this is published, you might not see the website yet, but it will be back live, especially by October 2022. You'll see that website. So let's get started with the course. Okay, so we're going to start here at the Google Ads homepage, and I already have a Google account. So what I'm going to do is use that Google account to create a new Google Ads account. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Start Now. And when you get started with a new account, they're going to ask, what's your main advertising goal? Now, what I would recommend doing is not going through this process, scrolling down, and you want to switch to expert mode. So we're going to come down here to, are you a professional marketer? Switch to expert mode. Now this will bring us right to this screen to build a new campaign, and they're going to ask to choose our objective. Now what I would recommend doing is creating an account without a campaign. So that's what we're going to do now, is create an account without a campaign. And now what we're going to have to do is set up our billing information. So you want to start with your billing country, your time zone, and your currency. So in this case, these all match what I have. So I'm going to click on submit. And we got a message, congrats, you're all done. So now what we're ready to do is explore our account. So the first thing that we need to do is set up our billing in case we do want to run an actual campaign. So you're not going to be charged in Google Ads until you actually start driving clicks for your business or whatever type of campaign you're running. But for the most part, it's going to be clicks. So you're not going to be charged when you set up your Google Ads account, and you're not even charged when you launch a campaign until your campaign starts getting some activity. So they're going to have messages here like this, discover new insights, and there's really no downside to going through some of the new insights and some of the different tips that Google Ads gives you. In this case, I'm just going to click on Got It, and what you want to do is go to Tools and Settings up here at the top, and over here on Billing, you want to come over to Settings. Okay, now this is where you want to set up your new billing, your payments, however you're going to do payments for your Google Ads account. I usually just use a credit card. So what you have here is billing country, mine is United States, and then you're going to have a currency here that you need to choose as well. And then we're going to scroll down here and you're going to see account type. So you could do individual or organization depending on what type of account you have. In this case, I'm just going to do individual, and it's going to say to add a credit or debit card. So that's where you're going to want to add your card number here. So I just set mine up as Corey Farmhouse when I created my new Google Ads account. So that's what it's showing for my cardholder name. But in this case, you want to enter your card number here, your cardholder name, and your zip code, and click on submit. So you can learn more about how you're charged. You'll see you'll be charged automatically on the first of each month. If your balance reaches your payment threshold before then, you'll be charged immediately. You might see some initial charges, some smaller charges when you first start with Google Ads because your payment thresholds are smaller when you first get started. I will link to this learn more so you learn how you are going to be billed for your Google Ads account. So that's where you need to get started, is how you're going to actually pay for your advertising. I'm going to click on cancel for right now because I'm not actually going to be running ads in this account. So we're going to come back over here to our Google Ads account. Hey everyone, thank you for your support watching my videos over the years. If you want to continue to support my channels while also using some of the best marketing tools, you can try either SEMrush or SpyFu if you haven't already. Both are great PPC and SEO tools. If you use the link at the bottom here for either one, they are affiliate links, so it will help support my channel and support Surfside PPC. If you're not interested, no problem. Back to the video. And what you're going to see is, let's start by creating a new campaign and ad groups for your business. Now, one of the things you're going to see is if you click to create a new campaign, some of the objectives here are sales and leads. So these actually take into account the actions that are happening on your website, whether they are purchases like a sale or they are leads. Somebody fills out a form, maybe someone gives you a phone call. So all of those can be different types of objectives that are also referred to as conversions in Google Ads, and that allows you to optimize your campaigns for your key performance indicators. So before you even launch your campaign, I would highly recommend setting up conversion tracking, and we can do that by going to Tools and Settings. And in this case, you want to come over here to Measurement, and you want to go to the Conversion screen. So this is where you can actually create new conversions that you can optimize your campaigns for. So you can see how Google Ads help you achieve your goals. So conversion tracking helps you see which keywords, ads, ad groups, and campaigns drive the customer actions that you care about: purchases, subscriptions, app installs, phone calls, and more. Basically, any measure of success for your business, no matter what it is, can be measured in Google Ads, and you can actually optimize your campaigns and your budgets to drive more conversions. So that's why we want to start with conversion tracking. Now, in my case, I'm going to be using my Google Analytics 4 account, and I'm going to import my main conversion for farmhouse goals. I already have my conversion tracking set up in Google Analytics 4. So if you come over here to conversion events, you're going to find that here in configure. When you go to configure, you'll see your events, your conversions, and your audiences. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come over here to conversions, and you can see I have my affiliate click conversion right here. So what we want to do is I want to link my Google Analytics 4 account to my Google Ads account so that they can essentially communicate with each other, and I can import this conversion, affiliate click, directly into my Google Ads account. So what you want to do now is go to Tools and Settings, and you want to come to under Setup, and you want to click on Linked Accounts. You'll see here all the different accounts that you can link to your Google Ads account. For example, if you have a Google Merchant Center account where you have a feed of your products on your website and you're using Google Merchant Center, you can link this account directly to your Google Ads account. You can link your Google Analytics 4 account right here. Now, Google announced that they are going to be ending the use of Google Analytics, the UA, Universal Analytics Edition. So they're moving over to Google Analytics 4. So I would highly recommend getting started. If you don't know how to get started with Google Analytics 4, just go to analytics.google.com and you can create a brand new analytics account. And there's a bunch of different setup guides no matter what type of website you're running. So it's very easy to set up Google Analytics 4 on your website. You basically can use either some built-in apps. There are a bunch of built-in plugins through WordPress. There are built-in apps through other providers like Shopify that allow you to easily track all of your Google Analytics 4 data. And even if you are using WordPress or Shopify, a lot of them will allow you to just use your Google Analytics 4 ID, and they'll be able to link this account to your website so that you're actually getting all of that traffic data, where people are coming from, how you're driving conversions. All of that data is really important so you can get the most basically from your website and your business. So what we're going to do here is we have our Google Analytics 4 account installed on my website, and this is for my website, farmhousegoals.com. And what I want to promote today are all of my different product category pages. I want to promote all of these, and then I have a separate sale on my website that I'm going to show you how you can run ads to optimize for specific pages or optimize for a specific sale that you're running. So that's what I'm going to be trying to show you today throughout this video. So what we want to do now is we're going to come over here to product links, and I have my Google Analytics 4 account. I have editor access in Google Analytics 4. So if we come over here to the admin screen and we scroll over here to account access management in Google Analytics 4, you can see I have direct permissions in this account through my new Google account. So what we want to do is we're going to come over here to Google Ads again. We're in the linked account screen, and we're going to come over to Google Analytics 4 and click on details. So you can see here I have two properties. So the first was a Google Analytics 4 example account. So they made me create that account when I set up my Google Analytics 4. And then what I have is my access to farmhouse goals. So what I can do is first you want to turn on auto tagging. So you can see turning on auto tagging allows Google Analytics to associate that data with Google Ads clicks. So you want to turn on auto tagging first. Okay, now that will help you track all of your campaigns directly into Google Analytics 4. And then what we want to do is click on link here. So when we click on link, we're going to import Google Analytics audiences. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So we're going to turn this on as well, and we're going to click on link. Okay, so now I have my Google Analytics 4 account linked to my Google Ads account. And what I want to show you next is how to create a conversion event through Google Analytics 4. So if we come back over here to configure, you're going to see first there are going to be a bunch of existing events here. So you can set any of these events as a conversion. Now, most of them aren't going to be something that you're going to set as a conversion. For example, you can set scroll as a conversion, which means people scroll down a certain percentage of the page. So we can set that as a conversion, and then every time someone actually visits our page and scrolls down, it would count as a conversion. Now for me, my main event is an affiliate click. So on my website, I have strictly just affiliate products. So every time someone clicks on one of my affiliate links, that counts as a conversion in my Google Analytics 4 account. So what I want to do is import that into my Google Ads account. So once we already have our conversion event set up here, what we can do is we can come over here to our Google Ads account. We can go to tools and settings, and we're going to come over under measurement and click on conversions again. And now what we're going to do is we're going to click to create a new conversion action. And what we want to do is use import here. So we're going to import data from our Google Analytics account, and we're going to be using our Google Analytics 4 property. So we're going to select that here, and we're going to choose web. So we're scrolling down and we're going to click on continue again, and you'll see all 4 of my different events here. So if we come back over, you can see all 4 of these conversion events. Now the only one that's measuring anything is affiliate click. So that's going to be the event that I'm going to be optimizing my campaigns for. So we're going to choose that here, click on import and continue. Okay, now what you're going to see here is things to note. This action is included in the conversions column. So you definitely want your action to be included in the conversions column because that will allow you to optimize your campaign for that conversion. So we're going to click on done now, and you're going to see we have other here. So it's going to be considered an other goal, which is fine because it's not technically a purchase on my website. I can use it as a purchase goal. I can use it as a lead goal, but we're just going to click on leave right now to exit the guide. You can go through all those different guides as you create your Google Ads account. It will only help you learn more about the platform. So if we click here on the conversion action, one thing that we can do is if we click on edit settings, so we can come here, you could see right now it's an other category. So I can choose this as a lead category. I could say it's someone who submitted a lead form. I could say it's somebody who began the checkout process because they're going through to one of my affiliate pages. For right now, it being an other is perfectly fine. So we're just going to keep this as other. We're going to choose a primary action used for bidding optimization. Now the conversion name, we're going to keep that as is. One thing you can do is you can set a value for certain conversions. So for this one, there's no value. So it's just going to use $1 as our value. So every conversion is basically just going to count as 1. Now, if we scroll down here, a few things down here at the bottom. So we can count every conversion or one conversion. I'm just going to choose to count every single conversion. So you can choose 1 if it's something like a lead form, because if somebody is submitting a lead form twice, it really only counts as 1 lead. So we're going to click on save here. Now, the other thing you can do is the click-through conversion window. So conversions can happen days after a person interacts with your ad. So select the maximum time after an ad interaction that you want to count conversions. So you can set this anywhere from 90 days down to 1 week. Usually 30 days is the default, and I usually just keep it at 30 days. But if you want to do something like 90 days, if your lead time is much longer than normal, so for some companies, people might reach out and it might take several months for them to make a decision. For other people, it's basically if the conversion doesn't happen within that week, it's not likely to happen. So you can choose a conversion window, whatever works the best for your business. So we're going to click on 30 days here and just keep it as is. Now, attribution model, there are different attribution models that you can choose from. If you know that people are clicking on different ads, maybe clicking on your website in the organic search results, maybe they find you through social media. If there's a bunch of different ways that people actually interact with your business, you might want to consider something like a linear or a time decay attribution model. So that will give credit to clicks that happen closer in time to the conversion. For a time decay, for linear, it will give conversion credit equally across all clicks on the path. Now, last click is just giving credit to the last clicked advertisement. In my case, I'm going to choose last click. My click-through conversion window is generally a shorter period than a lot of other businesses. People usually click on ads and they either click through an affiliate link or they don't. So in my case, I'm going to choose last click here, 30 days. We're going to count every conversion. So we're not really changing anything here, and we're going to click on done. Now, let's just say you have a Shopify website or a BigCommerce website or a WooCommerce website, and you're selling physical products. and you want to make sure you're tracking every single sale and the revenue attached as the value, then what you want to do is follow the guides they have directly on their websites. So just do basically a quick Google for Shopify Google Ads conversion tracking, and they have guides that will give you a step-by-step process to setting all of this up on your website. It's the same thing if you're using BigCommerce. You can see conversion tracking here. So they have a lot of information about having Google Ads accounts attached to your website and the best ways to track conversions. And it's going to be slightly different for all of these different websites. So rather than me trying to go through every single way to do this, all you need to do is a quick Google search. If you're running a WooCommerce website, for example, WooCommerce Google Ads conversion tracking, and you can see there's a plugin right here, WooCommerce Pixel Manager, track visitors and conversions in Google Ads, Google Analytics, Metapixel. This plugin tracks WooCommerce shop visitors and collects valuable data. So you can use these built-in plugins or apps, or even sometimes the platform that you're using might be able to easily allow you to install your Google Analytics 4 account, and you can track all of your conversions back into your Google Ads account. So follow those simple guides before you ever start running a campaign, because it's only going to help your performance if you are using conversion tracking. Now, a simple method for conversion tracking is, let's just say, for example, if we come over to my website, let's say I want to advertise a drop shipping program through my website. So I want people to drop ship my products. Now, this isn't something I'm actually offering. This is just strictly for this example. So somebody fills out this form, name, phone number, email, website, comment or message, and they click on submit. Now, when they click on submit, they automatically get redirected to this confirmation page on my website. So the only reason anyone's ever going to visit this confirmation page on my website is if they fill out that form, because there's no other way to find this page, and people are not going to directly go to my confirmation page because it's basically just a thank you for submitting your form to us. So this would be my conversion page. So you can also use this for an order confirmation. If you're selling a product for $100, then you know every time someone visits your order confirmation page that you just drove a $100 sale. So you can use that through Google Ads and then optimize your ads for that conversion. So what we're going to do is, through our Google Analytics 4 account, we can come here to events and we're going to create a new event. So we're going to do create event. You can see I already have a custom event here called generate lead, but we're going to create a new custom event. And what we're going to do is we're going to say drop shipping confirmation. And actually we'll just use all lowercase here. Okay, so my custom event name here is drop shipping _ confirmation. Matching conditions. So with this, what we can do is say page location. So that's referring to the URL. And instead of equals, what we're going to do is contains, and the value, we're just going to take the very end of the URL here with the brackets. So we're going to take the confirmation page just like that. So basically our event is going to be the dropshipping confirmation. Every time someone visits that confirmation page, we know that they just filled out our dropshipping form. So we're going to click on create here. So that is going to create a new event on our website called dropshipping confirmation, and that will track every time someone visits our confirmation page. So what we can do now is come over here to conversions. Now your events might not show up here immediately because there are thresholds with events where you need to have a certain count here for your events to even show here at all. So events where your count is low, they might not ever show up here, so you can't mark them as a conversion right over on this table. So what you have to do is come over here to conversions, and we need to just name a conversion the exact same thing that we named that previous event. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on a new conversion event, and we're going to name it the same exact thing we just did. So drop shipping confirmation. So you want to name it the exact same name as the previous event that we did in the last step, and we're going to click on save. Now that is going to create a new conversion that will match the event that we just created. So let's come back over here to events. You're going to see the event is not showing up here. So if we click on create event, what you're going to see here is dropshipping confirmation, our custom event name, and we're going to come back over here to conversions, and we have the same name here. So dropshipping _ confirmation. So now this will start counting every time someone visits this confirmation page. And you can make sure it's working by just refreshing this page multiple times and giving some time for this data to actually show up here. You'll start to see this count increase. Now it might take a day or two for some of this information to show up. Google Analytics 4 can be a little bit slow when it comes to conversion events, But once you have this conversion event created in your Google Analytics 4 account, what we can do is come back over to Google Ads again, and we're at the conversion screen. We can click on New Conversion Action, Import, and do the same thing we just did from our Google Analytics 4 property, choose Web, and we're going to click on Continue. And you're going to see right here, Dropshipping Confirmation. So we could take this analytics event and import it into our account, and that will start counting every time someone actually fills out that form on our website. So this could be very useful, especially if you have forms on your website where you're giving people an estimate for some type of work. For example, if you're putting in a fence in your backyard, you might go to a website and they might say, give us your name, give us your address, tell us what type of fence you're interested in, and we'll come back to you with an estimate. And when someone fills out that form and clicks on submit, all you need to do is redirect them to a confirmation page, and this page will be used as your conversion. So that's a quick overview to conversion tracking. We're not going to import this one. We're just going to be focused on our main conversion action here, our affiliate clicks. So that's the way that we are going to optimize our campaigns, but it's really important to get started with conversion tracking before you do anything. Now, the next thing that I would recommend doing is in your Google Analytics 4 account, you want to come over here to the admin screen. So from the admin screen, we can actually enable remarketing in our account, which will allow us to target people who have already visited our website. So the way to do that is coming to the admin screen in your Google Analytics 4 account, going to Data Settings and Data Collection. In Data Collection, you need to enable Google Signals Data Collection, and then at the very bottom, there's going to be a User Data Collection Acknowledgement, and you need to acknowledge this as well. So this will allow you to create remarketing audiences, and you can use them in your Google Ads account. So if we come back over here and we go to Tools and Settings again, and we come back to our linked accounts, we have our Google Analytics 4 and Firebase here. So we're going to click on Manage and Link. And just to show you real quickly, if we click on Unlink and relink this account, so you can do it very easily. You can see you just click on Unlink and then Link again. What we did was import Google Analytics audiences after linking. So when we do that, we click on Link. That's going to allow us to use the audiences that we create in our Google Analytics 4 account in our Google Ads account for our advertising. So this is going to help us find people who have already shown an interest in our website and people who are similar to them as well. So the way to do that is going to Tools and Settings. Under Shared Library here, we're going to come over to Audience Manager, and you're going to see we already have a bunch of audiences imported in this account. And mind you, this is a brand new account that I just created, so I didn't do anything but click on Import Audiences. So all you need to do to create new audiences is come over again to Configure. So a lot of the things that you're doing in Google Analytics 4 that reflect in your Google Ads account is in this configure screen, because this is where you create events. This is where you can mark events as conversions, and it's also where you can create audiences. So you can see some of the different audiences that I've created already. Now, the easiest audience to create, and I think they automatically create the all users one for you and purchasers for you if you are tracking purchases on your website. I am not, so I don't have anybody in my purchasers audience. It's just showing less than 10 users. But you can see some of these different audiences that I have. Recently active users. So if you click on New Audience, they have some suggested audiences here. So recently active, purchasers, and non-purchasers. You can come over here to templates, and they have a few different templates that you can choose from. And then they have predictive. This is new, but right now I'm not eligible to use any of these. So what we're going to do is create a custom audience. And to give you some of the easiest conditions you can use is if you include users when, and we come over here to add a new condition, and we come over here to events, and you just say users who have a page view. So that's basically anybody who has visited your website. If we look over a 30-day period, you can see that just choosing page view here includes 22,099.8% of all users who have been on my website over the last 30 days. You can also set this to the maximum limit, and that will basically give you the largest possible remarketing audience you can create for your website. So all you need to do is name your audience, add a description if you want to, and click on save, and that will create that new audience for you. Now you can also create a custom audience and say include users when, and use a couple different conditions here. So let's scroll down and just show some of these different examples. So e-commerce, you can see some different things here. Events, so you can do if somebody did complete a conversion event. Now there's a few here that might not be relevant at all to your website. You can choose by platform or device if you're trying to reach people who are using a specific browser or a specific device or a specific device brand. You can do by traffic source, so people who came from a specific channel like organic search, or if you're driving a lot of traffic from Pinterest. You can create all sorts of different audiences. Now, one of the most basic ones is, let's just say I want to target people who have visited furniture pages on my website. So I can choose page screen here, and we can scroll down here, and you can do page title, for example. And if we scroll up just a little bit, you can also choose page location. So page location refers to the URL. Page title refers to the actual title of the page. So for example, my confirmation page, my title is just confirmation. So if we come over here and let's just say we're going to use page location, I can say add a filter and say when the URL contains, and I can do something like, they have a bunch of different links here already. I could do something like just furniture. So when the URL just contains furniture, we click on apply. So it's saying over the last 30 days, 11.5% of all users have visited pages where the URL contains furniture. Now you can do and, or you can choose or to either expand your audience, or if you use and, you're going to make your audience smaller. So you're basically saying if somebody visits a page that contains furniture in the URL, and they also do something else, then include them in this audience. I could do page location contains furniture. I can do something like, and we'll scroll down here again to page and screen. I can say page title contains, and do the same exact thing. Furniture, we'll do uppercase in this case, and we'll click on apply. So you can do a bunch of these different things here and create an audience. So this didn't really expand it at all, but we can just say furniture audience, and maybe what I want to do is a 60-day membership duration. So people who are looking for furniture tend to look a little bit longer than a lot of other products because they are more expensive. So we have a furniture audience and we do 60 days. So we have anybody who visits a page that contains furniture. I can also do page location contains, specific types of furniture like sofas or chairs or tables. And I can choose all those different page locations to create the biggest possible furniture audience. And then we click on save. This is going to create a brand new audience on our account, and it's going to take about 24 hours, but this audience will automatically show up in our Google Ads account through our audience manager, just like some of these other ones have shown up here as well. Now, the other thing that's going to happen is, for example, I created this bathroom pages. So people who visited pages on my website that relate to bathroom decorations. So this is a 90-day audience, and what Google Ads automatically does is creates a similar segment, so similar to my bathroom pages 90-day audience, and you can see the size of this audience ranges from 17,000 to 1.2 million. So we can target this audience on the display network, we can target them with a Gmail campaign, and we can target them in our search campaigns and either increase or decrease bids based on this similar audience, where Google Ads is looking at all of these different data points from interests to demographics to locations of people in my bathroom pages audience, and creates people who are very similar to them but haven't been to my website yet. So these are audiences, and you can create your own custom segments, which I will go through later on in the video. But to start, before we create a campaign, I like to set up Audience Manager. So I do this if I'm working with a new client who has never used Google Ads before. I first set up their Audience Manager, and I also set up their conversion tracking, because it doesn't make sense to me to run a campaign without having conversion tracking ready to go so we can optimize that campaign for the key performance indicators on their website. So once you've done both of these two things, you are ready to create a search campaign for your website. So we're going to come back to our Google Ads account, and you can see here it's going to tell us to create a new campaign. Now, one thing before I create a new campaign is I'm going to come back to the conversion screen, and I just want to set up my conversion action rather than other. What I want to do is take this conversion action, and we're going to edit the settings, and we're going to make it a lead. So we're going to come over here and we're going to put it into a lead category. So you're going to see under leads categories, there are a few different categories here. I'm going to choose outbound click. So outbound click is going to be an account default goal for me and a primary action used for bidding optimization. And we're going to click on save. Okay, so now we have our affiliate click tracking properly. We are using it as a lead category for outbound clicks. And we're ready to go back to the Google Ads homepage here. And now what we want to do is create a new search campaign. Now, before you create a new search campaign, you should have an idea of, okay, this is what I want to promote on my website, and this is what my goal is. So what I want to do is promote the shop pages on my website. I would like to promote basically every single product category I have. So you can see here, I have 257 items under all of my product categories. So what I like to do is target all of these different pages. I'm probably not going to do each and every single category because it doesn't really make sense to target specifically twin farmhouse duvet covers with this page when I can just target my farmhouse duvet covers page. And I will go over that more as I create my campaign. But before you get started, you need to have some idea in mind of, okay, my goal is to get people to come to one of these pages. So for example, I have my shop pages here. I want someone to come to my farmhouse bedding page, so we'll click on it. And I want people to either click on one of these product categories in shop or just scroll down and go through some of my different products here. And anytime someone clicks on learn more or goes to a product page and clicks on the learn more button, they are automatically going to be sent to Amazon. So if we click on learn more here, you can see the same exact product that is on my website is a product on Amazon. So I want people to come to my page and click on this learn more button, and that is what's being tracked as my affiliate click. So that is what my goal is for this campaign. Now, the other thing you want to keep in mind is what budget you want, and you really are best off setting a monthly budget. Because if you just say, hey, I want to spend $25 a day and see how well it performs, you're better off saying, I'd want to spend $2,000 this month, so we're going to set a daily budget, so I'm spending about $2,000 this month. And I will go over that as I'm creating this campaign. So let's come in and let's create a new search campaign. The first campaign we're going to be setting up is a Google Ads search campaign where we're actually going to be targeting keywords through the Google Search Network and through Google Search Partners. And we're able to show relevant ads to potential customers and drive them to our website and hopefully drive conversions as they are searching in Google and other search partners. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to click on the new campaign button here, and the first thing we need to do is choose our campaign objective. So in my case, I'm going to choose leads here for my campaign objective, and now it's going to say use these conversion goals to improve leads. So you can actually choose multiple conversion goals here, but I just have my one main conversion goal, outbound clicks. Now you're going to see here, it's giving me an error message and it's saying it's inactive or unverified. So once we start driving conversions, that little warning message will go away. So we just need to start driving conversions and then it will be an active conversion action. So we can click on continue here. And this is where we choose our campaign type. So for this Google Ads tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a search campaign and a performance max campaign, because I think those are two good campaigns to get started with in terms of the overall performance you're going to see. Now, if you're running an e-commerce website, you should also run a shopping campaign as well. That's something I want to go over in future videos. I really want to stick to just search and performance max in this case. Now, I do have videos on my channel about display ads, discovery ads, and video ads as well. So you can find all these different campaign types by just searching my Google Ads playlist, which I will link in the video description. So we're going to click on search here, and it's going to say select the ways you'd like to reach your goal. And what we want to do is choose website visits. So we're trying to send traffic to our website, and we want to drive conversions just on our website for right now. You can see there's other options here as well, and that's something maybe I'll show in follow-up videos. So let's enter our website here, farmhousegoals.com, and let's name our campaign. So let's do Farmhouse Goals Google Ads Search Campaign, and we'll do 2022. Okay, and we'll click on continue. Hey everyone, thank you for your support watching my videos over the years. If you want to continue to support my channels while also using some of the best marketing tools, you can try either SEMrush or SpyFu if you haven't already. Both are great PPC and SEO tools. If you use the link at the bottom here for either one, they are affiliate links, so it will help support my channel and support Surfside PPC. If you're not interested, no problem. Back to the video. Next is going to be our budget and our bidding strategy. So your budget, if you look over here on the right-hand side, it's going to say for the month, you won't pay more than your daily budget times the average number of days in a month. The average number of days in a month is 30.4. So for example, if I set a $10 daily budget here, then what I'm going to spend is over the course of a month is most likely $304, somewhere around that number. So if I set it at $100 here, so you just take 100 times 30.4, and what we're going to have is we're going to spend about $3,040 per month. So that's kind of how you want to look at your budget. The best way to do it is to say, okay, I want to spend and I used this number before, $2,000 this month. So if I want to spend $2,000 this month, all we need to do is basically open up the calculator app directly in Google, or open up the calculator app that you have. 2,000 divided by 30.4 equals, so our daily budget is going to be around $65 or $66. So let's just say I'll set it at $65, so then I'll spend a little bit below $2,000 over the course of a month. So that's kind of how you want to look at your daily budget. Look at it as a monthly budget. So next is going to be our bidding strategy. And since we're using conversion tracking and since we are optimizing this campaign for leads, what we want to do is focus on conversions. Now I'm going to show you exactly how I set my bidding strategy, but what you want to do here to get started is focus on conversions, and what you can do is set a target cost per action. So let's just say a conversion for your business is worth $50. Then what you want to do is have a target CPA below that number, because then you're driving optimal conversions. So if my target CPA is $100 and a conversion is worth $50, then that means for every conversion, I'm basically losing $50. So the best way to look at your target CPA is, how can I drive valuable conversions for my business? In my case, if I can start at $2 here, because conversions for my business are not worth that much because they're all affiliate clicks, then what I can do is hopefully bring that target CPA down. But I am going to adjust this bidding strategy later on in the video after I publish the campaign, and I'm going to show you that as we go on with this video. So let's scroll down here, and let's come down here, and we're going to click on more settings. So the only setting here is ad rotation. I would recommend just to optimize your ads to prefer the best performing ads. So once we have all of this set, we're ready to move on to the next step. So the next step is going to be our campaign settings. And the first thing it's going to ask you is, which networks do you want your ads to run on? When I'm running a search campaign, I just want my ads to run on the search network. So I want to run on the search network, and I want to include Google search partners. I would rather run separate Google display network campaigns than trying to run my search network campaigns on the display network. In my experience, I've never been able to find like it says here, the additional conversions at a similar or lower cost when I'm comparing a display network campaign with a search network campaign. So we're going to scroll down here, and next is going to be locations. So locations is, you want to target everywhere your customers are located. In my case, I ship products to the United States and Canada, so I'm going to choose United States and Canada for locations. And then under location options, under target, I like to just choose presence, because it's going to automatically opt you into presence or interest. So that's going to include people in the location or people who have shown interest in your targeted locations. I want people in the location where I'm actually shipping products to. So for target, I like to choose presence here. And what you can do under location options is, let's just click on advanced search here. And let's say I want to target the Phoenix area. So if I search Phoenix, you're going to see some of these different options here. You can target Phoenix, Arizona, the city, and choose target here, or exclude. So you could also exclude locations as well. Phoenix, Arizona, the Nielsen DMA region. So it's a larger reach. It's going to be basically the entire Phoenix, Arizona market, and we can target that as well. And then as we come down here, you're going to see a bunch of different options here as well. And then locations that include Phoenix, Arizona. So the county, so we could target the county if we want to. Again, they have the Nielsen DMA region. We can target the entire state of Arizona, and then it's going to show United States, the country. So you can basically target wherever you want to. You can also choose a radius target, and let's just scroll in here. And you can see we have Phoenix, Arizona. We just scrolled in, so we can choose pin mode here and just click right on Phoenix, and that's going to target a 20-mile radius around Phoenix. And we can increase this number here as well, or you can enter a place name, address, but let's just say I want to do a 70-mile radius around Phoenix. We click right here on Phoenix, we target it, and we click on save. Now we have a 7-mile radius around Phoenix. Now in my case, I'm going to keep this as United States and Canada. Target, we're going to do just presence, and then exclude, we're going to keep presence as well. So that's going to be our location targeting. Next is going to be our language targeting, and you want to choose all the languages that your customers speak. So in my case, since I'm targeting Canada, it's saying I may want to target French as well. I am just going to target English for this campaign, but you can always expand languages if your customers do speak multiple languages and your website is set up for customers who speak multiple languages. You want to make sure you're providing a good user experience no matter what languages your customers are speaking. So we have our language targeting set here. Next is going to be audience segments. So one of the things that you can do with search campaigns is actually target specific audiences in your search campaigns and choose to just observe the performance of those audiences, or bid higher on those audiences or bid lower on those audiences. So for example, if I come in here to browse, what I can do is let's just come in here to how they have interacted with your business. I can say website visitors. So anybody who's visited my website, I want to see how that audience performs for this specific search campaign. So if I come in here to similar segments, I could do the same thing for anybody who's similar to all users. We can come back here. I can say, let's go to in market, or we'll just come over here to search and let's just say home decor, since that's what we're selling. And we have the in market segment for home decor. We have an in market segment for living room. So we can choose all of these different audience segments and see how they perform for our campaigns. So if we come back here, we can do maybe some affinity audiences and maybe home and garden affinity audiences. And ultimately what we're looking for is by observing how these different audience segments are performing, we can adjust the bids. Now, if you choose targeting here, that is going to limit the targeting for your search campaign just for the audience segments you select. I would not recommend doing that at all. So what you want to do is leave your campaign wide open and then observe specific audiences and see if you should bid higher or lower on some of these different audiences here. Okay, so now we can keep scrolling down here. So dynamic search ad settings. So for this specific campaign, I'm not going to be setting up dynamic search ads. I do have a video on my channel about how to use dynamic search ads and some best practices. So I would highly recommend watching that. You can incorporate dynamic search ads into your existing search campaigns. In this case, I'm just going to focus on targeting keywords, and maybe I'll go over this at the end of the video, but for right now, we're going to keep this. We're just not going to change any of our dynamic search ad settings. Now, if we come in here to more settings, we can set start and end dates. So if we want to start our campaign May 15th or June 1st, we can choose to do that, and we can end our campaign. If I say, okay, at the end of summer, or let's just say the end of August, we want to end our campaign. So we can choose to end our campaign on a specific date as well. You can set ad schedules. I'm not going to be going over campaign URL options. Usually you don't need to change that for your campaign. For ad schedules, you can choose to run your campaigns when your company is open. Maybe it's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can choose ad schedules so that your campaign isn't running on weekends. So in my case, I'm going to choose all day because I just want to leave this wide open here as well. So we're going to click on next, and this will bring us to our keywords and our ads. Okay, so you can go through some of these different prompts they have when you set up your first campaign. It's helpful if you haven't set up a campaign before. In this case, I just want to focus on the tutorial here. So keywords and ads. So you need to have an idea of what landing pages you're sending traffic to so that you can understand the best keywords and advertisements to match those landing pages. So in my case, I'm going to be sending traffic to my product category pages. So it's pretty self-explanatory: farmhouse bedding, farmhouse baby bedding. If we just scroll down here and let's just say farmhouse Christmas decor, you kind of have an idea of all of these different pages, what types of keywords I would target for them. Now I'm going to go through a few of these different ad groups in this video. Obviously, I'm not going to set up 257 ad groups, but what you want to do is set up as many ad groups as you possibly can that would still drive relevant traffic to your website. So in my case, I would set up ad groups for basically all of these different product categories. Where I wouldn't is, for example, I have farmhouse comforters and comforter sets here, and then I have them broken down by different sizes of comforter sets. I wouldn't create a separate ad group for each of these different sizes. I would just kind of send all of my traffic to this landing page. So you want to really group together your landing pages when you have really relevant keywords like these ones are, but you also want to make sure that you're creating the most targeted user experience that you can. So when it comes to quilts, duvet covers, comforters, those are all going to be in separate ad groups for me. If we scroll down here and let's just come halfway down the page. So for example, farmhouse bar stools, I'm going to send these all in the same landing page. I'm not going to create a separate one for people who are searching for set of 4, bar stools with backs, swivel bar stools. So all of these are going to go into one ad group. And then as we come down here, benches will be in its own ad group. Farmhouse dining chairs will be in its own ad group. Farmhouse dining room sets will be in its own ad group. So you just really want to focus on creating the best possible user experience and the most organized search campaign you possibly can. So let's start with ad group 1. And for this one, we're going to do farmhouse bedding. Okay. Now what you want to do is it's going to say get keyword suggestions. You want to put your landing page here or search the products or services for this ad group. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to copy this link address and we're going to paste it right here to get keyword suggestions. And then what we're going to do is search farmhouse bedding and we're going to update keywords. It's going to say replace current keywords because it's basically giving me some broad farmhouse decor keywords, which I probably will end up targeting all of these different keywords here, but we want to replace this and focus on bedding. Okay, so now you're going to see these different keywords here, farmhouse bedding and farmhouse bedroom set. Now this is where you need to understand keyword search intent. If you're not sure what keyword search intent is for specific keywords, let's go to Google real quick. So if we come over here to Google, we search farmhouse bedding. What you want to do is see what comes up in the Google search results and what comes up in the advertising results. You can see when I search farmhouse bedding, pretty obviously, I'm getting farmhouse bedding sets for sale. Now, on the other hand, if I go to Google and I search for farmhouse bedroom set, you can see it's furniture. So I don't want to target the keyword farmhouse bedroom set in my farmhouse bedding ad group. This will be its own separate keyword in my farmhouse bedroom sets. And if we even come down here, farmhouse beds. So these two keywords refer to bedroom furniture or bed furniture, specifically in a bedroom. So people are looking for headboards, they might be looking for nightstands, they might be looking for bed frames. So I don't want to target these keywords in this ad group. Now, farmhouse comforter set, that is going to be targeted in its own ad group as well. So we're going to get rid of this one here as well. So now we have farmhouse bedding set. So we're going to come up here and we're going to take these two keywords and we're going to put some of these other ones down here. Now, the next thing I want to go over is keyword match types. So Google Ads is always going to tell you to target broad match keywords because they're going to say that's going to give you the most conversions at the best cost. In my experience, I like using phrase match keywords. So what we need to do is put quotes around our keyword so that it's a phrase match keyword. So phrase match keyword means that the search intent is going to be very, very close to what we're entering here. Exact match keywords is basically you're only going to be targeting some of these exact keywords here and very close variants. Now keep in mind, if I'm targeting farmhouse bedding and farmhouse bedding sets or farmhouse bedding set, I don't need to target misspellings. These will be included with misspellings. If someone goes to Google and types in farmhouse bedding set, it will still count for this keyword. And if somebody goes to Google and types in a plural, so they do farmhouse bedding sets, it will still be matched by this keyword here as well. So this keyword will match a lot of those different close variants such as misspellings, synonyms. So if somebody goes in and types in something like farmhouse king bedding set, then this keyword will still match for this search term. So what you want to do is take some of these keywords and I put quotes around them. The keywords that I'm targeting, I usually generally always put quotes around them. Broad match keywords, in my opinion, are good for very large budget advertisers who aren't worried about maybe spending some of their budget that might not lead to conversions where you're getting some unrelated searches, but you're also making sure you're getting your daily volume every single day, and over time your campaign performance will improve. Phrase match keywords is good for most advertisers, in my opinion, because most advertisers don't have an unlimited budget, and you want to make sure that when people are typing in search terms, your keywords very closely match those search terms. So in this case, I have farmhouse bedding, I have farmhouse bedding set. Now, just for my own personal SEO keyword list, so if you have your own keyword list, I know that rustic and farmhouse are very close synonyms. So what I'm going to do is also target rustic bedding as a phrase match keyword. And then what you want to do is take some of these keywords down here that are going to be relevant for this specific ad group where we're sending traffic to this farmhouse bedding page, such as modern farmhouse bedding. So I'll target that keyword. I could do farmhouse bedding ideas here, so we'll target that keyword. Now keep in mind, farmhouse king bed, farmhouse king bedroom set, farmhouse style bedroom. All of those are not people who are actively looking up farmhouse bedding. They're either looking up furniture or they're looking up ideas. Now I don't mind if someone is looking up specifically farmhouse bedding ideas and then they can see all the products I have for sale. So I just want to make sure that I keep things as relevant as possible. Okay, so there's 3 here that I'll target. So farmhouse bedding king, shabby chic farmhouse bedding, farmhouse style bedding. Don't worry too much about having a limited amount of keywords in your ad group. If you enter keywords here that don't have a high enough search volume, then Google Ads will basically just tell you to delete those keywords because the search volume is too low. And if we have farmhouse bedding here, there's no downside to also targeting modern farmhouse bedding, shabby chic farmhouse bedding. It only makes sure that we're actually targeting all of these different search terms and we can see what performs best for our business. So let's enter all of these as phrase match keywords. This is a good keyword list for this specific ad group, and we're going to get rid of these other ones down here. Okay, so you can see here, I have my keyword list here. They're all phrase match keywords because I have quotes around all of them. You can see phrase match keywords have quotes around them. Broad match keywords are just entered as the keyword. and exact match keywords have brackets around them. So we have our phrase match keywords here, and we're going to scroll down. So now what we want to do is create our advertisement, and we're going to start with our landing page. So we're going to come up here and just copy this link right here. This is where we're sending traffic to, and we're going to paste this landing page. Now, display path, what we can do is just do farmhousegoals.com/bedding. So what that's going to do is it's going to put this bedding into our display URL. Now, headlines, they're going to give you some different headline ideas, and there also might have some headlines already filled out here. Now, these are not the headlines I want here, so I could take some of these different keywords here that we are targeting. So farmhouse style bedding. Okay, so I have a few different headlines I've added here. So farmhouse style bedding, shabby chic farmhouse bedding. So you can see some of these different variations. And then as we add more headlines, and you should just use every single headline they give you. So just keep clicking on the plus headline until you can't add any more. So we have our rustic bedding sets here. When we click here, they're going to keep giving us ideas. So you might as well just use some of these different ideas they have. You can enter your brand name, because as you can see over here, we have basically some of these different headlines are going to be combined. So it might say farmhouse style bedding, farmhouse goals. It might say country bedding sets, farmhouse goals. So what you're looking for as you create these ads is up at the top, it's going to say add headlines, include popular keywords, make headlines unique, make descriptions unique. So you want to have these all filled out so that you fill out your ad strength all the way to great. Okay, so I've added all of my different headlines here, and what you might need to do is use some different headlines that might not have that much to do with bedding, or try to find other words within whatever it is that you're trying to promote. So in this case, using types of bedding, using different styles. So up at the top here, you can see my ad headlines. I have a check mark here. So basically Google Ads is saying I have enough headlines here. Make my headlines unique. I have a check mark here as well. So Google Ads again is saying my headlines are unique enough that the combinations they're going to create can use all of these different headlines. And what might end up happening is best farmhouse bedding 2022 is what drives the most conversions. And that's the type of ad that Google Ad is going to continue to serve. So we're going to keep scrolling down here saying try including more keywords in your descriptions. Well, I haven't really written my descriptions yet, so we're going to use all 4 of our description lines. So we'll click on the plus sign here. Now, again, I'm going to fast forward through this a little bit. I'll write out the first description line, but a lot of times with the first description line, I try to just use something pretty generic like shop the top rated. Okay, so I've shopped the top rated farmhouse style bedding, best prices on comforters, quilts, and more. So what you want to do is use your description lines to basically use some different selling points for whatever it is you're selling, whether it's price, whether it's you have the best products, you have the best selection of products. So I'm going to enter my description lines here and kind of fast forward through this a little bit. Okay, so we have our 4 descriptions here as well. So I have kind of just different sizes and styles. So shabby chic, modern, rustic, and vintage sets, farmhouse themed comforter sets, quilts, bedding, and more. So I try to use a bunch of different keywords, a bunch of different selling points. Ultimately, with your ad copy, you want to try to sell whatever it is that your best selling point is as soon as possible in the headline and the description lines. So for me, my best selling point is I have a huge selection, all sizes, all styles, all prices. So you're basically not stuck into just one option. You basically have this huge selection. So no matter what you want, people should be able to find it on my website. Now my ad strength right now is good. And the one thing it's telling me is try including more keywords in my headlines. So I'm going to come back to my headlines here and try to use all of these keywords. So instead of upgrade your bedroom, let's try farmhouse bedding ideas. And let's see what it says. Okay, so I have all of my headlines here. I have my description lines. I have some unique headlines. It's still giving me ad strength good. It's saying try adding a few more unique headlines or unpinning some assets. I don't have any assets pinned. So what you could do is I can pin this asset to say, I want this to only show in position 1. I usually don't pin assets. Sometimes you want to do it if you're running a promotion. So if you have a 10% off sale or you're running a free shipping promotion, you might want to put that in the first line just so people see it right away. But in this case, I'm going to keep my ad as it is. My ad strength is good right now. I can try to keep playing around with some of these different headlines here, but ultimately I don't think if the ad strength is good or great, I'm going to see much of a difference for this specific ad group. So I'm going to click on done now, and we have our advertisement created. Okay, so now in our ad group, so you can see our ad group is farmhouse bedding. We have our landing page, we have our keywords here, we have our ad created. You want to run multiple advertisements for basically a best practice. Now, because they have responsive search ads, you don't really need to run a ton of different advertisements, But what I'm going to show you in a few steps is how to duplicate an advertisement and test different landing pages. So for right now, what we can do is create another ad group or click on next. Since I'm going to be creating a lot of new ad groups when I launch this campaign, what I'm going to do is click on next. Now, when I'm generally setting up a campaign, I would create a lot of different ad groups to start it with. But what you can do is take what we have right now, we click on next, and now it's going to bring us to our extensions. So extensions are additional information about your advertisements and additional information about your business. So if we come over here to farmhouse bedding, this advertisement right here, these are site link extensions. So there are different links in our advertisements. So for example, for farmhouse bedding, what I can do with some of these different site links is do things like farmhouse comforter sets, enter our description lines and a final URL. For site link 2, farmhouse quilts. And then when people see my advertisement, they're going to see farmhouse bedding, and then they'll see some of these different options here as well. So that allows people to click on exactly what they're looking for. So somebody who maybe types in farmhouse bedding sets, and let's just say I do farmhouse crib bedding, they might say, oh, well, let me check on the crib bedding sets as well as the quilts. And now you might be able to sell them on something else on your website. You can also just use campaign level site link extensions. So what I can do is something like farmhouse furniture. I can do farmhouse area rugs. So they're not going to be as relevant. So what you really want to do is focus on these ad group level site link extensions. And you're going to see it's going to say add at least 2 site link extensions here. So I'm going to create some different site link extensions, and we're going to kind of fast forward through this part. I'm going to go through kind of the idea that I have when I'm creating them. Okay, so we have farmhouse comforter sets. I have my description lines here, and then I have my final URL, and I'm sending that directly to the farmhouse comforters page. The best farmhouse bedding, I'm using the same exact landing page, but just have a description line. We put together the best 2022 farmhouse style bedding sets. Crib bedding, same thing, upgrade your nursery, and we have our crib and nursery bedding sets page. Same with farmhouse quilts, and same with farmhouse duvet covers. So it allows you to create some of these additional links on your advertisement so you can kind of direct traffic to where people want to go. So now we can click on save, and now we have these site link extensions added to the ad group level. So you can also use site link extensions at the campaign level. So if we create a new one, what I can do is farmhouse furniture, I can do farmhouse goals homepage, I can do farmhouse shop. So I can enter some of these different site links here. So for right now, I'm just going to keep these 5 here and it's saying select and create campaign level site link extensions. So after we publish this campaign, I'm going to show you how to put these at the ad group level and then how to put some at the campaign level. So we're going to come down here to more extensions. Now, just to go over each extension pretty quickly, call out extensions adds more business information to your ad. This is great for promotions or any selling points that you have. Fast shipping, free shipping, best 24/7 customer service, call us today. So call out text is really good for just what your basic selling points are. Do you have the best prices? Do you have the best service? Do you have a combination of both? Do you have high quality products? Do you have unique products? So you want to use call out extensions here that are going to make people click on your advertisement and purchase from you. So in my case, let's just do fast and free shipping, no hassle returns, top rated products, and we'll do shop now and save. So we have 4 different call out extensions, basically helping people kind of get rid of some of those pain points that they might expect from a business. So fast and free shipping, no hassle returns, top rated products, shop now and save. And we can click on save, and now we have some campaign level call out extensions. So we're going to scroll down here and we have call extensions. And with this, you can add a phone number to your advertisement. In my case, I'm not going to be adding a phone number here, but all you need to do is add your phone number, and then you can choose to turn on call reporting, and you can actually create a conversion action for calls from advertisements. I'm not going to go through that right now in this video, but that's an option that you have. And if you're a business that is expecting phone calls basically to drive leads or sales for your business, you definitely want to add your call extension here. Now, app extension, if you have a mobile app, you can actually connect it to your Google Ads account, and then you can add an app extension to your ad. So when people are searching on a mobile device, so for example, if I'm searching for travel and I see TripAdvisor, they can put an app extension on their advertisement, and then I can go directly to the TripAdvisor app. Next are going to be structured snippets, and these allow you to just add additional information to your advertisements by using one of the built-in headers. So when you see here the header, you can choose your language and then select header type. You can see some of the different options here. So amenities, brands, courses, degree programs. So this can work for a lot of different businesses, whether you have different types of insurance that you're offering, different models of vehicles, or different types of products. Now in my case, what I could do is things like types or styles. So under types, what I can do is something like for bedding, I can say comforters, quilts, sheets, and we could just add some of these different types of bedding that people are going to purchase. So you can add those to your advertisements, and it's going to give people the idea that, okay, you have comforters, quilts, sheets, crib bedding. So just making sure people understand that we have every different type that they can even think of when it comes to bedding. Now, if we scroll down here, we could also do styles and do some of the different styles as well. So there's a lot of different structured snippets that you can use. So we'll click on save for now. Okay, and you can add multiple structured snippet extensions. So you just want to click here to create a new one if you want to create more structured snippet extensions on your advertisements. Now, if we click on more extensions, a couple other options, lead form extensions. So you can actually add a form to your advertisement so people can contact you directly through a form on your Google ad. So for example, if I'm running advertisement to try to get new marketing clients, I can tell people contact me today directly through my lead form extension. Price extension, you can add prices to your advertisements. So if you have fixed prices on certain products or services, for example, let's just say you're selling different type of courses on your website, whether they're marketing courses or any other subject, and let's say every single course is $200. Then you can put your header here for the price extension and $200. So some different ways that you can add more information to your advertisement. Last but not least, you can do promotion extensions, and you can add a specific promotion to your advertisement. So just under here for occasion, so you can see all the different occasions that a bunch of companies usually run a lot of different promotions, whether it's Black Friday, back to school. So you can take advantage of those through your Google Ads, through your structured snippet extensions. So you don't need to use every single one, but every single one that's relevant for your advertisement you should use, because it's only going to help increase performance. So once you have all of your extensions set up, we're ready to click on next. Okay, so now we want to review our campaign. We still have a lot more work to do for this campaign. We only created one ad group. So based on the product categories I still have at least 100 different ad groups that I still need to create. Obviously, I'm not going to create every single one throughout this video. I'm trying to give you a good process so that you can copy this process for your own business. So reviewing our campaign name is Farmhouse Goals Google Ads Search Campaign. Search campaign, our objective is lead, and our goal is outbound clicks. So that's what our conversion goal is. We have a budget set of $65 per day. I'm going to adjust the bidding strategy in the next step. I'm going to show you usually how I set up my bidding strategy for new campaigns. So networks, we're just on the Google Search Network and search partners. We have our location targeting, our language targeting. We're observing some different audiences to see how they perform. So we'll keep scrolling down here. Keywords and ads, we only have 8 keywords and 1 ad right now. And then we have our site link extensions, call out extensions, and structured snippet extensions all set up. So let's publish our campaign. Okay, so our campaign is all set up. Now keep in mind, I haven't set up my billing information yet. So if you haven't set up your billing information, your advertisements will not run. Once you set up your billing information, you're going to start getting impressions. Depending on whatever it is that you're targeting, whatever keywords you're targeting, you're going to start getting impressions and clicks, and you'll be charged as soon as you start driving clicks on your advertisements. So we're going to hide this message for now. If it keeps giving it to me, I will set up my billing information on this account. Now, one thing you might want to do is if you're setting up an account the way that I did, my budget right now is $65 per day, and it's all going to go directly into that one ad group. So what we could do is lower our budget temporarily just down to $5 or $10 a day, just so we don't spend the full $65 on this one ad group as we start to test our ads. So after I launch a campaign, in the settings here, we're going to come over and we're going to look at our campaign settings. And what we're going to see is if we click on our campaign, so we're looking at our campaign settings for the campaign that we just published. And our bidding strategy down here is maximize conversions, target CPA. So what I want to do is I'm going to come over here to tools and settings, and under tools and settings, under shared library, you're going to see bid strategies. So I'm going to create a new portfolio bid strategy and apply it to this campaign. So we're going to click on the plus sign. Our new portfolio strategy in this case is going to be target CPA. Now keep in mind, if you're tracking revenue, then you can use target return on ad spend, and Google Ads will actually optimize for the revenue that you're driving. So this is great for e-commerce websites because if you're selling products that range in price from, anywhere from $5 to hundreds of dollars, Google Ads can actually tell how large your orders are. So if you drive an order, let's say for $200, then Google Ads can continue to try to optimize your campaign for revenue rather than just conversions. So target CPA is much better when you're just driving leads or when every single one of your conversions has the same value. Target return on ad spend is better when you have dynamic values, when you have different revenues coming in for your conversions. So when every single sale is a different value, you want to use target return on ad spend. Now you can also use maximize clicks, maximize conversions, or maximize conversion value as well. Obviously, conversion value would fit better with target return on ad spend. Maximize conversions would fit better with target CPA. So in this case, I'm going to be using target CPA. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to do search campaign bid strategy. And then what we're going to do is select my campaign here. So the campaign we just created, we're going to select it and we're going to apply this bid strategy to this campaign. And we're going to click on done. We're going to keep our target CPA the same. So you're going to see create a shared budget. We're not going to be doing that for this. So we have our target CPA of $2. And then if we click on advanced options, this is what I like here is you can set minimum and maximum bid limits. So I like to set maximum bid limits on new campaigns because what ends up happening is as we're going through the testing process, Google Ads is not setting maximum bid limits for us. So we might be bidding $1, $2, $3, up to $5, $10 on some of these different keywords when we might want to start our campaign by keeping our bids as low as possible. So if I'm trying to drive target CPA of $2, then it doesn't make sense for me to be bidding $1.25 because that means that I need to drive a ton of conversions and have a huge conversion rate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my maximum bid limit for right now at 50 cents. So that means my cost per click will start at less than 50 cents. And we can always increase or decrease this over time. And what you want to do with your bid limit is look at your daily budget and your spend. Because if you're consistently reaching your spend every day, and I shouldn't have an issue reaching my spend once I start creating more ad groups in my campaign, then what we can do is click on save here, and we can always decrease or increase our maximum bid limit later. So if we come back over to our Google Ads account, we should have through our campaign, we're going to come in here to settings, and you can see under bidding here, we have our search campaign bid strategy. So our target CPA is $2 and we have that maximum bid limit set. So that's how I like to set up my bid strategy for new campaigns because it helps me control costs. So now what we want to do is come back here and I want to adjust my ad extensions really quick because I set up campaign level ad extensions that would work much better at the ad group level. Okay, from the extensions page here, you can see we have site link. If we scroll down, we have call out and we have structured snippets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here to site links. We're going to select all of these different site links that I created. And I'm going to click on add to, and I'm going to add them to my ad group. So we're going to add them to the farmhouse bedding ad group and click on done. And we're going to add all of these site link extensions to the ad group level of all of my bedding themed ad groups. So anytime that I'm bidding on comforter sets or bedding sets or crib bedding, all those different keywords, I'm going to have these set at the ad group level. And then what we can also do for now is we have these 5 selected. We can also just pause these different ad extensions as well. If we just come up here and click on pause. So now we're pausing these ones at the campaign level and now they're still running at the ad group level. So what we want to do is I want to create some different site link extensions that are going to run at the campaign level. So we would click on the plus sign and we're going to go through this process again, adding them to our campaign. You can see once you come in here to create new site links, it's very easy to add them to either your entire account. I generally don't do that, or just to your specific campaign, or last but not least, to specific ad groups. So once we have our different ad groups created, we can set up all of our site link extensions. So with campaign level, what I want to do is just use some different links to my shop, to my furniture pages, to some of the large pages on my website, the most popular pages, and then different pages that will help me drive more conversions as well. So I'm going to set up my campaign level site link extensions now. Okay, so I've just submitted my new site links and you can see I have shop farmhouse goals, I did furniture, bedding, decor, lighting, and I did a couple more as well. So just kind of some basic broad site link extensions. So when people are searching for different keywords, if my ad group level extensions aren't relevant enough, Google Ads will pull from my campaign. So now what we want to do is I'm going to show you a couple more things here with our search campaign is we want to come into our farmhouse bedding search campaign and you can see our keywords that we're targeting. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to ads and extensions. So because we have these responsive search ads with so many different headlines, description lines, we don't really need to create multiple advertisements in every single ad group. It used to be that you'd run 2-3 advertisements in every ad group and just kind of test them against each other. But what we can do is just take this initial ad that we already have And all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste it. So we're going to copy and paste this advertisement, and we're going to paste one new ad into our ad group, and we need to make sure we check if ad already exists in destination to create a duplicate. So let's click on paste. Okay, and our new one is going to be in bold right here. So all we need to do is click on edit for the new ad and just update our final URL. So that's a good way to test landing pages. So because I have different landing pages that work for this advertisement, what I can do is see which one is going to perform better, which one is going to drive more optimal conversions. And the only thing different about the ads is the final URL. So it'll test everything will be exactly the same except for the landing page where we're sending traffic to. So that will allow Google Ads to kind of rotate those ads and then continue to serve whichever ad is driving more conversions for us. So now we have 2 advertisements in this ad group. So what we're ready to do is create more ad groups. So we're going to come over to our search campaign again, click on ad groups, and click on the plus sign to create a new ad group. Okay, so we're going to set up an ad group, and we're going to use a standard ad group. Again, you can use dynamic ad groups within your existing campaign, so you don't need to create separate campaigns with standard and dynamic ad groups. Dynamic ad groups can actually help you find more traffic because it's going to give you more keywords that you're targeting. So it's going to use the words basically on your page, your ad copy, all the information on your page to target your ads when you're using dynamic ad groups. So with standard, let's create a new ad group, and instead of doing something again with bedding, let's go to our area rugs. So we're going to take our farmhouse rugs and farmhouse area rugs. We're going to copy this page, and what we're going to do is name our ad group, so farmhouse area rugs. And what you want to do is rinse and repeat this process over and over and over again. So for keywords, we can enter our landing page URL. We could just click on get keywords, but a lot of times I'll just come in here and click on search farmhouse rugs, the main keyword that I'm targeting with this page. And now you can see if we scroll down here, there's a bunch of very relevant keywords we can target. So we could do farmhouse rugs, farmhouse area rugs, kitchen rugs. Now what can be very helpful too as you're building these campaigns is if I come in here and I have my farmhouse rugs category, you can see I have it broken down by different sizes. And then I have one that's just modern. So one with one style, but there's a bunch of different keywords here as well. So farmhouse runner rugs, farmhouse rugs for living room, farmhouse kitchen rugs. So what I want to do is take those different categories and make sure I note them down, because I can add those categories to my website, and it's only going to help my performance through Google Ads, and it's only going to help me drive more traffic through organic search traffic as well if I'm targeting all of these more long tail keywords. Because when someone goes to Google and they're looking specifically for farmhouse bathroom rugs, farmhouse runner rugs, farmhouse rugs with a separate size, it's going to help me to have a page full of different products that are highly relevant to that search term. So as you're building that campaign, keep that in mind, because you can easily find new SEO keywords as well, and it's going to help you create more and more pages on your website that will only help you rank well through organic search and help your Google Ads campaigns. So let's continue to use these phrase match keywords. We're going to keep putting quotes around our keywords that we're targeting. And now you're going to see down here, your campaign is using smart bidding. Use broad match to get more conversions at a similar or better ROI. So that's something you can test. I would highly recommend just starting with phrase match keywords, and you can always open up to broad match keywords as you start seeing how your performance is. So if you're happy with your performance, then what you can do is start incorporating some broad match keywords as well, or just update your match type. So instead of having a phrase match keyword, just use the broad match variation. You don't need to use multiple keyword match types in the same ad group. I would highly recommend just choosing one match type. I personally like to use phrase and just sticking with that match type for each keyword in the ad group, but you can still use broad match or phrase match or exact match. Just don't mix and match all of them. You don't need to add something like farmhouse rugs in every single match type. Just choose one match type. Now for right now, I'm going to use a bunch of these different keywords here. So I'm going to kind of fast forward through this part and just keep putting quotes around these relevant keywords. Okay, so we have all of our keywords added here. This should help us basically reach for every single relevant search about farmhouse rugs. And we're going to be able to serve a relevant ad and drive people to a landing page that is just going to have a list of these different product categories and our top products for sale. So let's come down here and we're going to click on save and continue. So when you're setting up your ad group, you need to name it, you need to choose the keywords that you're targeting here, and then all you need to do is create your advertisement. Now make sure when you're setting up your final URLs, you're always sending traffic to the right landing page. So we're going to start here, copy our link address, and we're going to paste this here. And then we just have to go through and update all of these different options here for our headlines and our display path. So we can make this really easy by just basically changing bedding to area rugs. So everywhere that there's bedding or comforters, we can use area rugs or runners, and just try to use some of these different ad copy options that we have to create good or great ads. So might have to adjust these a little bit. I'm going to fast forward to this part a little bit just because I'm just going to be updating bedding to rugs. Okay, fast forwarding a bit, we have our final URL set, we have our display path set. If we come down here, we have 15 different headlines, and they all are geared around area rugs instead of bedding. So we're going to keep scrolling down, kind of just updated a little bit of our ad copy here. And if we come to our descriptions, again, the same exact thing, all geared towards rugs, runners, outdoor rugs. Our ad strength is good. As long as you have a good ad strength, you really shouldn't have much of a difference in performance between good and great. So we have our description lines. So all we need to do now is click on done. And then what we can do is add more site link extensions to the ad group level for our area rug ad groups. So what I can do is take some of these different options here. So for example, 8x10 is a very popular size for area rugs. So I could do 8x10, I could do modern farmhouse area rugs. I do have a category on my website for bathroom rugs. So we can just kind of incorporate some of those different options, and it's just going to make your advertisement more relevant to each individual search. So that's ultimately what your goal is to use extensions to make sure that each ad group is serving up the most relevant ad possible. So we have our ad created here. So all we need to do is click on save and continue. And now we have our 2 ad groups created. So what you want to do is rinse and repeat this process that I just showed you for every single relevant page on your website. The way to think about ad groups is where are you sending traffic, what are the best keywords that describe that page, and what are keywords that people are going to type in so that you can sell them your products or services that are listed on that page. So pretty self-explanatory, farmhouse area rugs. If we click on it, you can see the keywords that we're targeting, all relevant towards farmhouse rugs, rustic rugs. So some of the different keywords that people are typing in. And our ad is all geared towards area rugs, and we're sending people to a landing page that's going to match what they're searching. So that's the goal for a Google Ads search campaign. You want to start with your conversion tracking. You want to use this smart bidding option so that you're driving conversions at the lowest possible cost. And then you want to create ad groups for every single relevant landing page on your website that will help you drive conversions and ultimately revenue for your business. So all I need to do now is continue to create these ad groups. And what I'm probably going to do is create a separate video of me just building this entire search campaign from scratch. So I'm going to start it from the beginning. I'm going to build a huge search campaign. It's going to be a very long video, but for anybody who wants to watch me build one from scratch, that's going to be how I'm going to do that video. In this case, I just want to give you kind of the steps to get started with your campaign and the process that I use to basically give myself the best chance at success for a Google Ads campaign. So we have our search campaign running, and all we need to do is wait for everything to be approved. It should run pretty quickly, so we shouldn't really have any issues at all with our campaign running. So what we want to do next is I want to create a Performance Max campaign. Now the next type of campaign is going to be a Google Ads Performance Max campaign. So with these, what we can do is create asset groups, and our ads will actually run across all of the different Google channels: search, display, discovery, video, Gmail, maps. So you're able to reach people in different places across the Google Ads network. So let's get started with a Performance Max campaign. So the 2 campaigns I would highly recommend getting started with are search campaigns and Performance Max campaigns. So we're going to click on new campaign here. We're going to choose the same exact objective. We have the same exact conversion goal here. We're going to click on continue. And then instead of choosing search, we're going to choose Performance Max. Now keep in mind, you can also run a display campaign, a discovery campaign, a video campaign. If you have an e-commerce website, you can run a shopping campaign. So you can run all of these together and see what is giving you the best performance. But keep in mind, things like discovery, display, and video, a lot of times are going to be much more for building more brand awareness and building more awareness around your products and services. You can still drive a lot of conversions, especially with video. So video can work really well for some advertisers, but I've seen great performance with Performance Max across a lot of different advertisers that I've worked with and for my own campaigns. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Performance Max and we're going to name our campaign. Okay, so we'll do Farmhouse Goals Performance Max 2022 and we'll click on continue. So the setup process for this is going to be pretty similar, but we're going to have a different thing when it comes to targeting and building our advertisements. So we're going to start with our budget. So let's just say I want to spend $65 per day for this campaign too. And what we can do is adjust our budget over time depending on what's giving us the best performance. So what we want to focus on is conversions. So we're going to choose conversions and we're going to set a target cost per action. But what I'm going to eventually do is use the same exact bid strategy for this campaign as my search campaign. You can use multiple bid strategies. So if you want to create a separate bid strategy, so depending on the performance that I'm seeing, I'm going to try to use my bid strategies to really drive the most conversions at the lowest cost. I mean, if I'm spending, let's just say $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, I want to drive as many conversions as possible as I can for that budget, because that means more revenue for my business. So we want to focus on conversions. We'll set the same exact target CPA. And what we can do is we can adjust this as we see what our performance is. So we're going to click on next. So you want to enter your location and language targeting here. Not much changes really for my website here for this different campaign. Final URL expansion, you want to make sure you send traffic to the most relevant URLs on your website, and you want to keep final URL expansion on at all times. You can exclude specific URLs. Now the other option is to only send traffic to the URLs you provided. The way Performance Max works is they're going to try to send traffic to the best landing pages for whoever is clicking on your advertisement. So I'm not going to adjust final URL expansion at all. We're going to keep this checked. I'm not going to exclude any URLs, so we are ready to click on more settings. And again, you can set an ad schedule for your Performance Max campaign. You can set start and end date, so if you're running it for a specific promotion, and you can set campaign URL options as well. We're ready to click on next. And what's different about Performance Max is we create asset groups. So you can see here, show high quality ads to the right people. Start by adding your assets, the building blocks of every ad. Google will test different combinations to create high performing ads across formats and networks that work best for your goals and audiences you want to reach. So if you're not familiar with Performance Max at all, you can see here your ad is going to run across YouTube, Gmail, search, display, and discover. So your ad is going to run across all of Google's different channels, and you're basically just giving Google Ads a ton of assets that you can use to create the advertisements that are going to send traffic to your website. And then we're going to set up targeting in the next set. So basically what you want to do is try to pick out targeting that matches your assets and make sure that your final URL that you're setting here matches your assets as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do for mine is I'm going to send traffic to this page that I set up, 52 beautiful farmhouse decorations you will love. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to start with this as our final URL. So we're going to copy it. We're going to come over here and add this as our final URL. Since we have URL expansion on, it's still going to send traffic to other pages on our website. So the next thing we need to do is add up to 15 images for this asset group. Now keep in mind, we can run multiple asset groups. So what I'm going to do is for this is do farmhouse decorations. We're going to scroll down and let's add our images. So when it comes to your images, let's scroll over here first. So the image guidelines, there's 3 different sizes. So optional is a portrait image, 4x5. The recommended size is 960 by 1200. For square images, 1x1, the recommended size is 1200 by 1200. And then there's landscape images, which are 1200 by 628. So you want to upload your images here. You can also scan your website as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on upload, and I'm going to be using a lot of the different images that are already on this page so that when people come here, they see the images that were in the advertisements. So we're going to come over here. We're going to upload my assets. Okay, so my assets are uploading, and you can see they're all selected with 1 ratio. So a lot of them are just going to be using square images. So what we can do is instead of using square images for all of them, if we click on an individual asset, we can choose some of these other sizes as well. So this one is not a big enough image, so it only lets us use square. So we'll come back to results and we'll find some. So if we click on this one here, again, same thing. So we want to make sure we're using large images. So with this one, we can select 1x9 by 1. It doesn't fit that well. So you want to find images where it fits well. There we go. This one will be a little bit better. 1x9 by 1, and we can do a 4x5, and this fits for all 3 ratios. So all you want to do is click on these different images and then select the dimensions that work best for the image that you have. So for something like this, what I can do is just use the 1x9 by 1, get rid of the square, and use the 4x5 as well. So we have 2 ratios there. Right now, we already have 15 selected assets. So what I can do is go through this and make sure I have enough 1.91 by 1 images here. You don't just want to have 1 or 2. So we're going to upload more assets again. Okay, so we should have better pictures now. So with this one, I can use 3 different ratios here. So we'll select the 3 ratios. So what you want to do is upload your assets and just basically find the right images that work best for your ad. So we have 3 ratios there. So we have 12 selected assets now. So you just want to click on some of these different options and make sure that you have enough of these different sizes. So this one will work for landscape and square. I'm not going to use this image. I'm not going to use this image. So we'll scroll up and use some of these images up here. Okay, so we have our images selected. We have 12. Let's get a couple more. Okay, so we have our 15 selected assets now, so we can click on save. Okay, so you want to use all of your assets that you can. So we have our 15 images. Next, we want to add up to 5 logos. You really just want to use at least 2 logos. So there's 2 different logo sizes. There's a square and there's a landscape logo. The square is recommended and you absolutely have to use the square logo. The landscape logo is optional. So we're going to upload some logos. Okay, so I have my logos uploaded. So this one actually didn't fit right. So I have my square logo here, so 1 by 1. And then if we come back over here, I have my 4 by 1 logo here as well. So both logos look good. So we have 2 logos, 1 in each size. You can use different logos, different colors. So if you have a variety of logos that you use, you can add all 5 if you want. Next is going to be videos. So you want to use videos, you want to upload them to your YouTube channel and then just search them, the specific YouTube URL here, and you want to use those videos for this campaign as well. If you don't have videos, Google Ads is automatically going to generate them when possible. You are much better off creating your own videos or even paying to have them created. It's definitely going to be better for your overall asset group. So I'm going to upload my videos now. Okay, so we're going to click to add our videos. Now, my videos are more geared towards farmhouse furniture, so they're probably better videos for the next asset group I create, because I'm going to do one for farmhouse furniture as well, but just to show you how to use some of these different videos. Now, what you want to do is create videos for each individual asset group. Now, for this, I'm just going to select some of these different videos here. So we're going to do all 3 of the videos I have, and we're going to select all 3 of them. So just come in here, just copy the link address and then go over, paste it right here when you're searching YouTube. And we'll click on this one as well. And now we have 3 different videos here, 20 seconds, 31 seconds, 26 seconds. So just some different videos. So we'll click on save. Next we want to do is use our headlines here. We can add up to 5 headlines. If we keep coming down here, we can add 1 long headline. Obviously you want to use all of the descriptions, the headlines that they give you, and use as many characters as possible. So a lot of times I start from the bottom to the top. Call to action is going to be shop now for me. So we're going to scroll down and use shop now. Business name is going to be farmhouse goals. Under more options here, you can see we can set a display path. I'm not going to do that for this one. So if we start scrolling up, we're going to enter our short description, our different description lines here as well, and then our headlines. Okay, so we have our 5 headlines here. So I have 52 best farmhouse decorations, shop our farmhouse decor, shop farmhouse goals, and then just some different styles as well. So now we're going to use our long headlines. So I'm going to enter my long headlines here. And again, if you go over the question marks here, it's going to give you a lot more information as well. So if you're looking for some more information, just scroll over this little question mark and that will give you more information. So I'm going to enter my long headlines and my description lines. Okay, so we have our 5 long headlines here. Now keep in mind, since these are long headlines, you don't really want to use punctuation at the end of them. Just keep them open. So if you do have punctuation at the end, just get rid of it because you don't need punctuation for any of this. So even where I have an exclamation point here, we're just going to turn that into a hyphen. So we have our 5 long headlines. Now let's enter our description lines. Okay, we have our description lines here. So we have one 60 character description line and the other 4 are 90 character descriptions. So if we keep coming down here, we have our call to action, we have our business name. So what you can do is click on this and see what your ad looks like through some of these different channels. So if you like the way your ad is looking everywhere, then you're ready to launch this asset group. The only thing that we need to do is set an audience signal. So what you want to do with an audience signal, it's going to help you reach the right audiences faster. Performance Max will use it as a starting point to find new conversions across Google. So if we create an audience signal, the way to look at this is to say, if I'm using my data, for example, and we come to browse and I do all users of farmhouse goals, I do my farmhouse decor audience. Basically, I could just use these 2 custom segments here and Google Ads is going to say, okay, everyone who has visited this page, everyone who has visited the farmhouse decorations page, they fit into this profile of people who are interested in buying decorations, furniture, whatever it might be. So basically what I'm doing is I'm telling Google Ads, these are the people that I think are going to be most likely to convert, target them and target people who are very similar to them. So we can also come in here to my data. And if we come to browse, I can choose some of these other options here. So recently active users, first visit. I can also come down here to interest and detailed demographics. And I can say, okay, if I come to browse, We go to in-market segments. I can try to find a home and garden in-market segment, or what I can do is just come in here and it's going to give me some suggestions and recent selections so I can use home decor here. So we'll use home decor. If I come to browse again, so if we collapse the in-market segments, I can come to life events and I can say, hey, someone's going through a home renovation. Let's target them as well. So we're targeting some of these different audiences here. And what we're doing is we're basically just trying to reach who will be ready to purchase from us, who is going to be the most likely to purchase. Now, the other thing you want to do is set up a custom segment. And what I like to do is name my segment. Let's just do farmhouse decor search terms. And what we're doing is we're targeting people who search for any of these terms on Google. So what I can do is add some Google search terms like farmhouse decor. We can do rustic decor. A lot of times they're going to give us some different ideas. So as you start entering things, so rustic farmhouse wall decor. So just keep adding all of these that are relevant for your business, and even just entering some of these keywords, and maybe we'll do some more things more specific. So farmhouse decorations, we can do things like farmhouse furniture, and we'll add a few more here. So we'll do farmhouse bedding, farmhouse area rugs. So people who are searching all of these different keywords are going to be highly relevant in the products that I have on my website. You can see weekly impressions is already 1 billion to 5 billion. So there's plenty of search volume there, even just adding this many keywords. Sometimes what I'll do is I will just enter my SEO keyword list, copy all the search terms and just paste them here. You can do that by creating a file in Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, putting all your keyword lists there, copy it and just paste it, and it will enter all of them just like this. So you can also expand this segment by including people who browse types of websites or people who use types of apps. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on save, and now we have our custom segment, we have our data here, and we have some in-market audiences. So what Google Ads is going to do is use this audience signal. So we're going to say farmhouse decorations audience signal. And they're going to continue to serve to these people and people who are similar to them to try to find people who are going to be most likely to convert. You can also use demographics as well. So if you know people are going to be more likely to convert if, let's just say for farmhouse decor, if they're 25 and up. So we'll click on save. And now we have everything set that we're ready to click on next. And we can also add extensions to Performance Max. So you can see all the same extensions here. So if I just come to site link extensions, I can use some of the ones that I set at the campaign level. So we can do, let's say, best farmhouse bedding. We'll scroll down here, shop farmhouse goals, furniture. We'll do decor, lighting. So some of the different things people are looking for. So we have our site link extensions here. Do the same thing with call out extensions. So we'll select all 4 of our call out extensions. And I don't have a call extension, but we'll do structured snippets, and we'll choose, or let's create a new structured snippet. We will do styles, rustic, farmhouse, shabby chic, antique, and modern. Okay, so some popular farmhouse styles. We'll click on save, and we have our structured snippet now. We have our call out, our site link extensions. We're ready to click on next. And we're ready to review our campaign. So we're not getting any errors. If you see this over here for an asset group, we can always go back and fix it after we launch our campaign. A lot of times when you click on this, it doesn't even show you the error. So for right now, we're ready to publish our campaign. We have a Performance Max. Our goal is outbound clicks. We're maximizing conversions right now, but let's publish this campaign. Now, again, we just built one asset group and one audience signal. So what we can do is we can come over here to asset groups and click on the plus sign and create another asset group. So instead of farmhouse decorations, I can do a new asset group and gear it all towards farmhouse furniture. I can use some of these furniture videos I have on my YouTube channel and just focus on that. I can create another asset group for, let's say, for example, somebody who's looking for farmhouse bedding or farmhouse area rugs or any of these different options that we have, lighting. And then what you want to do is set up your audience signal for whatever it is you're promoting. So I can use an in-market audience for people looking up furniture. I can use my data for people who are going to furniture pages on my website. Google Ads will use all of that to serve our advertisements across all of these different Google channels and hopefully drive us a lot of conversions. I've seen a lot of great success with Performance Max, so you definitely want to try it out and see how you're performing. Okay, so coming back in here to our all campaign screen, I'm just going to keep my Performance Max bid strategy what it is. So under settings, we have target CPA and we have it run for $2. So what we want to do is bring that target CPA down. But for right now, what we're ready to do is run these 2 campaigns, see how they're performing. We can create more campaigns and run them across some of the different channels, but with Performance Max, your ads are going to be running across all the different channels, and we're really going to be focused on conversions. If your goal is to kind of build a little bit more product awareness or brand awareness, you can also use these same objectives. You don't have to use the brand awareness and reach objective. So if we choose leads, we click on continue, and then try to use a display campaign, discovery, video, or use all 3, see what performs the best for you. The next campaign we're going to be creating are Google Discovery campaigns. And with Discovery ads, your advertisements will actually run across Gmail, across YouTube, and across the Google Discover feed. So you're able to reach people in different areas depending on where they're browsing. So let's get started. Now, just to give you a quick introduction, Discovery campaigns allow you to reach people on the YouTube homepage and the Watch Next feeds, on Google Discover, and on Gmail. They're native advertisements through Google Ads that are very easy to create. You basically just provide your assets, and Google Ads will serve the top performing ad combinations. I'll go over more of this later in the video. When it comes to who you're targeting, you can utilize your data or any of the different audience targeting that's available through Google Ads. So there's a lot of different options here. So let's start by building a campaign. Now, before we get started with building our Discovery Ads campaign, I just want to show you some different examples directly from Google Ads. So you can see the first one here on the left-hand side is an example from YouTube. So you can see sneaker advertisements and the way that they look. The other one over here in the center is you're going to see a Google Discover advertisement. So obviously you can see a very nice image there. So it looks like a really good advertisement. And then over here on the right-hand side, you can see it's a Gmail advertisement example. So just 3 different places your ads can run. So YouTube, it's Watch Next and the home feeds. Google, it's going to be through Google Discover. So you can see your advertisements will show up when people are in their Discover feed. And then over here on the right-hand side, when people are in their social and promotions tabs in Gmail, that's when they'll see your advertisements. So we're going to come over here and we're going to start building our campaign. Okay, so we want to start in our Google Ads account, and what I'm going to be promoting today is on my Farmhouse Goals website. I'm going to be promoting an April 2022 promotion where people can use a certain code at checkout for 10% off all furniture on my website. So we're going to come back over here to Google Ads. We want to create a new campaign. So you want to start by choosing your campaign objective, and I would highly recommend just focusing on one conversion when you're creating this campaign. So you want to choose either sales or leads here. Now you can use some of the other objectives, but with sales and leads, you're going to get the best results. So in my case, I'm going to choose sales here. It's going to pull up some of the different conversion goals in my account. So what I want to do is remove 2 of these conversion goals. So we're going to remove this one, and I'm just going to focus on purchases, which is my main conversion goal in my account. So we're going to click on continue. After that, you need to choose your campaign type. So down here, Discovery, run ads on YouTube, Gmail, Discover, and more. So this is where we want to choose. Next, you want to choose the web page people will go to after clicking your ad. So I'm going to actually take my landing page. We're going to copy it, and we're just going to paste this right here. And then you need to name your campaign. So let's do, okay, so my campaign name, April 2022, Farmhouse Furniture Sale. So we're going to click on continue. Okay, so start with our campaign settings here. You can see we have our conversion goal all set. Next, you want to choose our location targeting. So you want to make sure you're just targeting the locations where your customers are located. In this case, I ship products to United States and Canada. So we're going to choose these 2 locations. Languages, you want to choose the languages your customers speak. So in this case, I'm just going to choose English for my language targeting. We want to keep scrolling down here. Next is going to be your bidding strategy. So you want to be optimizing for conversions, and you can set a target cost per action as well, which I prefer to set a target cost per action. So if you don't set a target cost per action, you're using the maximize conversions bid strategy. If you do set a target cost per action, you can actually say you want to drive conversions at a certain cost or less, basically. So in this case, they're giving me a suggested target CPA of $3. So I'm going to apply that to this campaign. And ultimately, over time, you want to bring your target CPA down so that you can drive more conversions within your budget. So we're going to keep scrolling down here. So for budget, let's just say I want to spend around $1,000 this month. So what I can do is enter a budget of $33. You want to take your budget and essentially multiply it by 30. So in this case, if I have my budget set at $33 a day, I'm going to spend somewhere between $990 and a little bit over $1,000. Now they're recommending a budget of at least $50 per day. If I'm driving theoretically 11 conversions, so at a $33 budget, target CPA of $3, let's just say I'm driving conversions at $3 per conversion, then I would drive 11 conversions per day. This budget is more than large enough. I always recommend setting a budget to where, based on your cost per conversion, you're driving at least 3-4 conversions per day. The more the better. But if you're not, let's just say my target CPA was $30, my budget was $33, you want to make sure you have a much higher budget than your target CPA. So in this case, $3 here, $33 here, I think that's perfectly fine. I could always raise my budget if I'm seeing really good results. So let's keep coming down here to more settings. So we'll click here. You can set specific ad schedules, so choose when your ads run during the day. In this case, start and end dates. So since it's an April promotion, I want to choose the start date as April 1st, and then I want to select an end date of April 30th. So I want to make sure my ads are only running during April so that people aren't seeing these advertisements in May. I could always come back and update my advertisements and change as my promotion changes. More settings down here. So content exclusions. Discovery campaigns will automatically exclude moderate to highly sensitive content, so you don't really need to change anything here. So we're ready to move on to the next step. And now it's going to come to targeting. So I would highly recommend using different types of targeting, starting with custom segments. So with custom segments, you can easily create your own custom segments. So just click here, click on the plus sign for a new custom segment. What I like to do is choose people who search for any of these terms on Google. So you want to name your segment, and then you want to add Google search terms. You can actually just copy and paste a list of keywords if you already have them. Otherwise, what I can do is I know I want to target people looking for furniture. So specifically, I want to target people looking for farmhouse furniture. So I could choose something like farmhouse furniture. I can find some different synonyms like rustic furniture and country furniture, and do something like shabby chic furniture. And then what you want to do is just keep adding keywords to this list. So using my landing page, I could do accent furniture, bedroom furniture, which would include dressers and nightstands and headboards and bed frames, dining room furniture, which would include dining tables, all of these different keywords here, and you want to keep entering them here. So your weekly impressions should continue to grow as you add more and more keywords. So I've already created this audience. All you need to do is enter a bunch of Google search terms here, name your audience, and click on save. You can also expand the segment by including specific websites or apps, but in this case, just enter, I would say, at least 20 search terms. Click on save. You can enter more and more search terms because you're basically trying to target people who have used those search terms on Google. So I already have this audience here, so I can click to add, create custom segments, go to browse, and you can see I have farmhouse furniture search terms. So we're going to click this one here. You can see my custom segment, it says, is between 10 million and 50 million weekly impressions. Right now it's showing 41 million weekly impressions. So that should be really more than enough just to run this campaign, and I can just target this custom segment for now. But let's go through some of the different targeting options here as well. I would highly recommend using your data. So use some of your remarketing audiences. You can just create a discovery campaign and say, okay, I just want to target my, let's just say, anybody who has visited my website over the last 30 days. So right now that would be this audience right here is all users of farmhouse goals through my Google Analytics 4 account. And I would get rid of my furniture search terms custom segment here. And I could just target people who have visited my website and use my own data to create a remarketing campaign that just runs as a discovery campaign on YouTube, on Google Discover, and through Gmail. So since I want to combine some of these different audience segments here, I'm going to use my custom segment for farmhouse furniture. I'm going to say anybody who's been to my website over the last 30 days, we want to target them with this promotion as well. Let's use a similar segment too. So we can come over here to browse, and instead of website visitors, we can choose similar segments. So these are built based on our website visitor audiences here. So let's use similar to, and I have a furniture audience here. So you can see the size of this audience is 10K to 66K. So we'll choose this one here as well. Now, one issue you might run into when you choose a similar audience is weekly estimates might not be currently available because your similar audiences are always changing based on your actual data. So your website visitor audiences are going to change as you get more and more people visiting. But right here, similar to my furniture audience, I want to target that as well. Even though it says 0, you could see it says 10K to 66K for size. I could also use some of my other similar segments there too. Now we'll keep coming down. Interest and detailed demographics. So if I come in here and we go to browse, you can see some of these different options: in-market segments, life events, detailed demographics, and affinity segments. I prefer to target in-market segments if anything, but affinity segments are going to be very broad. So what I like to do is if you come here to search, you can search things like furniture, whatever it is you're promoting, enter a search there and see if you can find some different in-market segments, life events, and some different things that you can target. So in this case, home furnishings, those are people who are interested in purchasing home furniture. So it's the perfect audience for this type of campaign. So we're going to choose this in-market audience, and this will give us plenty of weekly impressions by using a custom segment, by using our data, and by using an in-market audience. Again, you don't have to combine all of these. I like to combine some of these different segments, and then as we scroll down here, you're going to see optimized targeting. I prefer using optimized targeting as well. So Google may find people beyond your selected audience, but it's only going to help our conversion rates by using optimized targeting. And then you can also use demographics as well and choose specific people you want to target. In this case, I'm going to leave my demographics wide open and just focus on some of these different audience segments. And we're going to use optimized targeting. So that will bring us to ad creation. So we want to create a discovery ad, and what you want to do first is start with your final URL, so where you're sending traffic to. In my case, I'm sending people directly to my furniture page, and I'm also going to duplicate this ad and send people to a separate landing page as well, because that way Google Ads will serve my top performing advertisement based on whichever landing page is driving more conversions. So we're going to come back over to our campaign. So we have our final URL set here. Next, you want to choose our images. So you want to add up to 20 images. So if we just scroll over this question mark real quick, you can see some of the different images and image sizes they recommend. So landscape images, square images, and portrait images. And basically what you want are images that are at least 1200 by 1200 or larger. So what I'm going to do here is click on the plus sign for images. You can choose from your asset library, so images you've already uploaded. You can upload new images here. You can use some of the stock images they have, and you can scan your website. In my case, I'm going to choose my asset library because I've already uploaded a bunch of furniture images, and you can see all of them. So 1500 by 1125, 1500 by 1500. So you want to use very large visual images. And then what we can do is, let's say I click on this here and we go to selected. You can choose between these three different ratios. So this one works perfect for this. It works well as a square, and it works well as this too. So we can select 3 ratios, and that will count as 3 of our 20 images. So we want to keep doing this for some of these different images here. So we'll select this one. So again, this one works well for all 3 too. So we have our landscape, our square, and we have our 4x5 image here. So we have 3 more images added. So now we have 6 out of 20. So I'm going to kind of fast forward through this, but you want to keep selecting images, and you can take some of these images. For example, I could take this one and just use the square and select 1 ratio. So you just want to choose the best possible images that you think will help people actually go to your website and complete your conversion goal. So I'm going to fast forward through this part a bit and pick all 20 of my assets. Okay, so you can see I have a total of 20 selected assets. I would just highly recommend making sure you have enough images here so that Google Ads can serve different advertisements to people and they're not seeing the same images over and over. You never know what people are looking for. So somebody might be looking for patio furniture. Somebody might be looking for accent furniture. Somebody might be looking for living room furniture. So you want to use different images to try to reach people based on what they're going to look at. So we have some of these different ad previews here. So you can see the YouTube watch feed, and it will continue to go through and show some of these different advertisements. So you can see the way that your ads are going to look. But once we have our 20 images here, next you want to add logos. So with logos, what I like to do is choose 1 square logo here. So you can see we have our 1 logo already selected. So we're going to click on save. You can add up to 5 logos. So if you want to use some different logos that you have, you can do that as well. Now we come down to headlines. So we want to add our headlines, and we can add up to 5 different headlines. So you just want to click on this plus sign. So the headlines are all going to be 40 characters. We come down here, we have 5 description lines. Those are all going to be 90 characters. And then we also get business name here and call to action text. So I'll do those two real quick because business name is just going to be Farmhouse Goals. And for call to action text, I'm just going to use Shop Now. Oop. Okay, so now I'm going to enter my description lines and I'm going to enter my headlines. I'm going to fast forward through this part a little bit and not type out each individual one through this video. Okay, so I have my 5 headlines here. So just kind of focusing on the sale that I have. So I could also do April sale and different things like that. I could use different headlines, but you really just want to focus on the sale and then go over some different selling points. Upgrade your furniture today. Farmhouse furniture for your entire home. Shop the best rustic furniture sets. So we're going to come down here to descriptions and we're going to enter all 5 of our descriptions. Okay, so we have our 5 description lines here too. And one thing you just want to look at the top. So our ad strength here is excellent. We've used all of our images, all of our headlines, and all of our descriptions. So this should help us kind of get the best results with our advertisements and with our targeting. So we have our entire advertisement ready. So we just can click on create ad here. Now you can see we have our advertisement, so we can create a brand new advertisement if we want, which you can do. It'll only help your performance. Or what we could do is come right here, duplicate this advertisement, and then just change our final URL. So instead of sending people to my product category furniture page, I could just say, let's just send them directly to Farmhouse Furniture, and I'll set up a landing page at that exact page as well, where I go over the exact promotion, what code people can use at checkout. Now keep in mind, this entire promotion is not something I'm actually running on my website. I'm just showing you this to give you a good example for how to run discovery campaigns. So we have our second advertisement here. We update our final URL, and all we need to do is click on apply changes, and we have 2 advertisements here, and we can click on next. Okay, so they give us the following issue may negatively impact our campaign's performance. They want us to increase our budget to $50 per day. Again, I think our budget is perfectly set based on trying to spend $1,000 for the entire month of April and with our target CPA bid of $3. So we have our campaign name, type, objective. We have all of our campaign settings here, our ad group, who we're targeting, and our advertisement. So all we need to do now is click on publish campaign and our discovery campaign is going to start to run. Now there's different options you can choose as far as targeting different audience segments in different ad groups using different advertisements. So you can always come here, duplicate your ad group. So we have ad group 1 right here. Say, okay, let's copy this ad group. And then all you need to do is click on paste and it's going to duplicate that exact ad group. And then you can just go into your audiences and adjust your audience segments. So you can choose to basically say, I want to have an ad group that 1 targets my remarketing audiences, 1 targets similar audience, 1 targets my custom segments, and 1 targets in-market audiences, and choose to run them as different ad groups rather than combining them like I did. It's really a matter of preference, and then you can choose to pause certain ad groups on certain days if you want to make sure that maybe the in-market audience is seeing your advertisements one day, and then another day maybe similar audiences are seeing your advertisements. So you can kind of adjust who is seeing your ads, but I do think discovery campaigns could be very useful if you are running a promotion like this and you just want to make sure you're getting your point across to people as they browse YouTube or Google Discover or use their Gmail. So these are discovery campaigns. If you have any questions about them, please leave them in the comments section. You can run your discovery campaigns along with search, along with Performance Max, and you really shouldn't have any issues with too much crossover there. Performance Max ads do run in the same places that discovery ads do, along with other places as well. So you could just run Performance Max campaigns rather than discovery campaigns. But for right now, it just gives you more access to some of the inventory through Google Ads. The next campaign we'll be going over are Google display ads. So display advertising has been around for a long time, so we're able to run our responsive display ads, which will look like banners and native ads across the Google display network. So let's get started. So I'm going to be creating a campaign through Google Ads that runs across the Google display network. Now, if you're not familiar with the Google display network, it's made up of over 35 million websites and apps, and probably some of the different websites and apps that you use on a daily basis. So we're going to create a new campaign here, and I'm going to be doing the same thing I did with my discovery campaign a couple days ago, where I have a sale on my website for 10% off furniture. So throughout the entire month of April, people can use a specific code at my website, and that will give them a discount off of some of the furniture on my website as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here to Google Ads and we're going to create a new campaign. So first things first, you want to choose a campaign objective. And if you're using conversion tracking, which if you are running Google Ads, you should be using conversion tracking for your main key performance indicator so that you can optimize your campaigns for more conversions and ultimately more revenue for your business. So what you want to do is use the sales or leads objective to get the best possible results out of Google Display Ads campaigns. You can also use website traffic, product and brand consideration, brand awareness and reach, but in my opinion, I would rather use sales or leads so that I'm actually driving measurable results for my business rather than just driving clicks where people might visit my website and leave within a couple seconds, or just generating impressions on my advertisements. I want people to click on my advertisement and actually go through my website and hopefully convert. So in my case, my campaign objective here is going to be sales, and then it's going to say use these conversion goals to improve sales. So here's where you want to choose the conversion goals you want to optimize for. In this case, I'm just optimizing for my purchases conversion goal. So I'm going to remove these other two conversion goals down here. Okay, so my main conversion goal on my website is purchases. And what I actually track on my website are affiliate clicks. So every time someone clicks through an affiliate link, that counts as a conversion on my website. So we have our conversion goal here, purchases. So we're ready to click on continue. Now, once we click on continue, we need to select a campaign type. So I'm running a search campaign right now, a performance max campaign right now, and a discovery campaign. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a display campaign. And then what you want to do is choose standard display campaign through your setup. And next you want to choose the web page people will go to after clicking your ad. So in this case, I'm going to come back over here. We're going to copy my landing page. I'm going to paste it in this field right here. And then we need to name our campaign. So I'm going to name my campaign now. Okay, and we'll do April 2022 furniture sale Google Display Ads. So we're ready to click on continue. Next, we're going to start with our location targeting and our language targeting. So you want to make sure you're choosing the locations where you serve your customers. So wherever your customers are located. So in my case, I'm going to choose United States and Canada. Now, the other thing here is when it has target, there's going to be presence or interest. So when you choose this option, which is the default option, it's people in, regularly in, or people who have shown interest in my targeted locations. In this case, I'm just going to target the presence, where people who are actively in or regularly in my targeted locations. So that's what I'm going to choose here for target. Exclude, I'm going to keep it as presence as well. And I'm choosing United States and Canada because that's where I ship products to. So we're going to keep scrolling down here, and now we have languages. So you want to select the languages your customers speak. In this case, I'm just going to choose English for my language targeting, and we're ready to click on more settings. Okay, we'll scroll down here. So ad rotation, so you can update your ad rotation. I just leave this as optimized, prefer the best performing ads. You can set ad schedule. So if you only want your ads to run during certain hours or on certain days, you can choose exactly when your advertisements are running. You can choose specific devices where you want your advertisements to show, so you can set specific targeting for devices. I usually just leave this wide open for devices. Now, one thing you could do is use dynamic ads through the Google Display Network. So what you can actually do is create personalized ads. So if people visit specific pages on your website, you can retarget them with your advertisements by using a dynamic ads feed that basically keeps track of every page that people are visiting when they visit your website. And then you can actually serve them advertisements for the pages that they visited. So if they look at specific products, you can show them advertisements for those products if they didn't convert. So that's one option here for dynamic ads. I'm not going to be doing this in this video, but it's something I could try to create a tutorial for in the future. So next, we're going to click on more settings one more time. So you can choose start and end dates here if you want to set specific dates for your campaign. And then last but not least, for content exclusions, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll opt out of showing my ads if it's for mature audiences or if it's any sensitive content. So those are a couple different options you can choose. Now for content type over here, I'll also remove below the fold and park domains. So below the fold means that your ads might show at the very bottom of pages. So anytime someone is scrolling down your page, they're going below the fold. So I want my advertisements to show really in this top portion so that people can actually see my advertisements, and so my advertisements don't get buried at the bottom of the page. Now, your ads might still show below the fold even if you exclude this content type, but it's more likely that your ads will show towards the top of the page if you exclude this. So this is usually what I choose choose for content exclusions across the Google Display Network. So that's what we're going to do for right now, and we're going to click on next. Okay, so you want to set your average daily budget for this campaign, and if you look over here on the right hand side, you'll see the most you'll pay per month is your daily budget times 30.4, the average number of days in a month. So if I want to spend $1,000 this month for this campaign, then my daily budget here is going to be $33, and I should spend somewhere between $990 and $1,010 basically. So you just want to make sure you're setting a daily budget, and then you can multiply it by 30.4 to get an idea of how much you're going to spend over the course of a month. Okay, so we're going to scroll down here, and next is going to be our bidding strategy. So since we chose sales as our objective, if you choose sales or leads, you want to focus on conversions. Otherwise, you're going to be focusing on clicks. Now, if you're focusing on conversions, that will obviously help you get the best possible results for your campaign. So I'm going to choose to focus on conversions. It's going to say, how do you want to get conversions? I'm going to choose automatically maximize conversions, and I'm going to set a target cost per action, and I'm going to use their suggested target CPA of $3.10. So I'm going to apply this target CPA, and you can see it's going to say pay for conversions. So we have a $33 daily budget. Our target CPA is $3.10. So we should drive about 10 conversions per day on average over the course of a month, as long as our target CPA is $3.10 or less. So ultimately our goal is to get our target CPA as low as possible, because that means we're driving more and more conversions within our budget. So this is going to be my bidding strategy. Focus on conversions, automatically maximize conversions, set a target cost per action, and that's going to make us use the target CPA bid strategy, where we're trying to drive conversions for $3.10 or less. So we're ready to click on next. Okay, so next is going to be targeting, and you can see right now it says optimized targeting is set up for you. Help us get more conversions by using information such as our landing page and assets. So we'll be uploading our assets and creating all of our assets in the next step. But as far as our landing page, what Google Ads is going to do is it's going to look at basically all the keywords on our landing page and really read our page to understand what we're promoting. So if I'm sending traffic to my farmhouse furniture page, Google Ads is going to know, okay, this website is selling furniture, so we want to find them customers who are actively looking for furniture. So what you could do with your display campaign if you don't want to add targeting is set up optimized targeting and just click on next. Because what Google Ads is going to do is basically read all of our assets and our landing page to try to find customers. However, what I would recommend doing is adding targeting, and I would recommend using audience segments. So these three at the bottom, keywords, topics, and placements, is going to allow us to suggest where we want our ads to show. So if we come in here to placements, you can actually suggest specific websites, YouTube channels, YouTube videos, apps, and app categories that we want to target. So if we come in here and we just search a specific word, phrase, URL, or enter a video ID, it's going to give us a bunch of different websites that we can target, YouTube channels that we can target, YouTube videos that we can target. And basically what we're doing is we're just suggesting websites. So this will not limit your ads at all if you're using optimized targeting. But if I just come in here and I just search, for example, we'll do home decor. So let's say people who are visiting websites and apps and watching YouTube videos that are about home decor, we could target those placements specifically with our ad. Okay, so we have 281 websites here, over 1,000 YouTube channels, over 1,000 YouTube videos. And if you want to choose placements, all you need to do is go through each one of these and click on some of these specific placements. So you just click on these placements, click on done, and you're basically suggesting different places where you want your ads to run. This will tell Google Ads the types of websites where you want to show your ads to people who are browsing those websites. So we can do all of these here and enter all of these websites. Truthfully, I don't really target placements too often, so I'd rather just target audience segments and target specific people regardless of what content they're looking at currently. So I'm not going to enter any placements here. If we come over to add targeting, we can do topics and keywords as well. So to go over topics really quick, you're basically saying, I want my ads to show on pages about specific topics. So what I could do here is just scroll down, choose home and garden, click on done, and we can leave that as our targeting. You're only suggesting web pages, so your ads are still going to show outside of these topics. So I can just do this targeted topic for home and garden that matches my farmhouse furniture campaign perfectly. So we'll just leave this as a targeted topic, and then we'll come down here and add targeting again. And if we start from the bottom one more time, so keywords, This is going to be keyword contextual targeting. So suggest terms related to your products or services to target relevant websites. And if we scroll down, you're going to see the keyword setting is going to be content. Only show ads on web pages, apps, and videos related to these keywords. So if I come over here back to my page, if I entered keywords like farmhouse furniture, farmhouse living room furniture, farmhouse bedroom furniture, dining room furniture, if I enter all of those different keywords here, it would target pages like my farmhouse furniture page here, or any blogs or any websites that are about furniture and pages that closely match those keywords. It's not going to be people who are typing in specific keywords into Google. It's going to be based on the actual pages and the content on those pages. I really never use targeted keywords anymore for when I'm targeting content. If anything, I'll choose a topic sometimes, but for the most part, I don't really target keywords. I don't really target placements. I focus mostly on the audience segments targeting here. Now, demographics is pretty straightforward. You could suggest people based on age, gender, parental status, or household income. In this case, I'm not going to change any of my demographic targeting. I'm just going to leave it wide open. So basically, I trust Google Ads to find people who are going to be more likely to convert rather than excluding people based on specific demographics. So let's come into audience segments and go over some of the different options there. So if we come into audience segments and we go to browse, so you have different options here from detailed demographics, you have affinity audiences, in-market and life events, your data and similar segments, combined segments, and custom segments. So detailed demographics, if we come in here, you can see pretty straightforward: parental status, marital status, education, and homeownership status. So for example, I can come in here to homeownership status and just say, you know what, I just want to target homeowners. But in this case, people who are homeowners, people who are renters, they both buy furniture. So there's really no reason to exclude one or the other. So you can choose detailed demographics here if you want to. I don't use those too often, honestly. Affinity audiences, these are interests and habits. They're very broad interests and habits. So if we come in here to food and dining, for example, coffee shop regulars. So even if you're selling coffee, it doesn't mean that there's somebody actively looking to purchase coffee. They might have their morning routine where they go to Starbucks or they go to Dunkin' Donuts, and that's where they go every day to get their coffee. So you can try it if you are, for example, opening your own coffee shop. This might be a decent audience to try to target in your local market, but they're very broad interest groups and people aren't actively looking for any of the things in these affinity segments. So with banking and finance, avid investors, a lot of avid investors aren't looking for more products. They're just people who go into their whatever investing platform they use and they invest. So they're not always the best targeting when you're trying to drive conversions. They can be useful if you're really just focused on brand awareness, but detailed demographics and affinity, I'm not going to use for this campaign. So that brings us to in-market and life events. So in-market segments are people who are actively researching or planning. So if we come in here to autos and vehicles and we do motor vehicles, for example, someone in the motor vehicles new category is actively looking to purchase or lease a new motor vehicle. So Google Ads can tell that based on search terms people are using, based on websites people are visiting. So people who are actively researching motor vehicles, Google Ads will put into this category and then you can target them with your advertisements. So in my case, what I can do is just come over here to search. And first, when you come to search, they're going to give you a bunch of different ideas that you can choose. You can see home furnishings. Those are people that are actively looking to purchase home furniture. So that's the in-market segment I can select. So that's the only in-market segment I'm going to select for this campaign. And we're going to come back over here to browse. Now you can see right now with my weekly estimates, based on my targeting and settings, but not my budget or bid, there's 2.2 billion weekly available impressions. That is more than enough impressions for my daily budget of $33. But what we can do is keep adding more targeting. So we have our in-market audience here. Next is going to be your data and similar segments. So I have videos on my channel about Google Ads remarketing. So I'm not going to go over that in this video specifically, but I do have some different website visitors audience set up. So I can incorporate these in my targeting and say, okay, anybody who's visited my page over the last 540 days or visited my website, I want to target them as well. So that's another option I have here for targeting. Now, personally, I like to run separate Google Ads remarketing campaigns, and then I'll use some of their other targeting in another campaign. So I would rather not use remarketing in this campaign, and I would rather use something like home furnishings in market. And then what we can do is use similar segments. So when you create website visitor audiences, your similar segments are going to be created automatically. So what I could do is just say similar segments, similar to all users of Farmhouse Goals. And this is based on my Google Analytics 4 data. So basically anybody who's visited my website over the last 30 days, they're going to find people who are very similar to them based on the types of websites they're visiting, based on their demographics. So a variety of factors, and Google Ads will build us this audience automatically. And if we just scroll over, you can see the size 25,000 to 66,000 people. So it's a pretty narrow audience of people that are going to be similar to the people who are visiting our website. So we're going to use these two targeting for right now. Next is combined segments and custom segments. So I like using custom segments, and you can create them very easily even as you're building your campaign. So if you go to create a custom segment, all you need to do is name it. You can either choose people with any of these interests or purchase intentions, or choose people who searched for any of these terms on Google. Personally, I like to do people who search for any of these terms on Google, and you can add Google search terms here. So in my case, if I come over to my page, I can use these exact keywords on my page, like farmhouse furniture, farmhouse living room furniture, and I can use all of those search terms, and then people who are using those search terms are going to be targeted with my advertisements. So what you want to do here is use basically your keyword list for your website, and you want to enter those keywords here, and then you can target that custom segment. Now I've already created this here. You can see farmhouse furniture, furniture search terms, and if we just look real quick, farmhouse style furniture stores near me, I have just farmhouse furniture, modern farmhouse furniture, farmhouse dressers, farmhouse sofas. So there's a bunch of different keywords in here. So if we click on this, we now have a custom segment added to our targeting as well. So if we incorporate one in-market segment, one similar segment, and one custom segment, this is a very good targeting group, and we're basically suggesting to Google Ads these people in these audiences are going to be the most likely to convert on our website based on the in-market audience they're in, based on them being similar to people who visit our website, and based on people who are actively searching for farmhouse furniture when they visit Google. So this is a good targeting group for right now. So what we're going to do is we have optimized targeting on. We're going to leave that on. Optimized targeting will find people beyond our targeting signals. So essentially, we're suggesting to Google Ads to target people in these audience segments, but they can also go out and find other people who they think are going to be likely to convert, even if they're not actively in these audience segments. So we're going to come down here again, and we're going to click on next. Next is going to be creating our responsive display ad. So Google Ads has made creating Google display ads much easier with responsive display ads. So what we want to do is definitely use responsive display ads if we're running Google Display Network campaigns. So you want to start with your final URL. So we have our final URL here, our farmhouse furniture shop page. So we can come over here, enter our business name next, which is going to be Farmhouse Goals. Next is going to be to add up to 15 images. So if we click to add images, first what you can see is our asset library. So any images we've uploaded, and I've already uploaded a bunch of images here, and what you can see is they're all very large images. So 1500 by 1500, and basically all of them have at least 1500 on one side. So if we come back over here to cancel, if we just come over here to images real quick, some of the guidelines, the recommended size for landscape images, which is 1.91 by 1, is 1200 by 628. The recommended size for a square image, 1 by 1, is 1200 by 1200. So you want to make sure you're using very large images because they're going to look much better in your advertisements. If you don't have good images to use, come over here and use some of the stock images that Google Ads allows you to use for free. So if I come over here and just do something like farmhouse furniture, let's see what some options they have. Okay, and some of these are very good images that I would use for my campaigns. Now they're not that large, some of these different images here. So I'm going to come back over to my asset library and just use some of these images that are actual products on my website. So when we click on a selected image, you're going to see selected 2 ratios. So there's 2 different ratios you can choose from when you're creating responsive display ads. The 1.91 by 1 landscape images, and then 1 by 1 square images. So I can choose either 1 or 2 ratios for every single image here. So I'm going to choose 2 for this one because they both look like good images for advertisements. and that's going to give us 2 out of our 15 selected assets. So I'm going to keep coming through here and selecting more and more images. This one again gave us 2 different ratios that we can choose from, so we're going to select 2 ratios for this image as well. So I'm going to complete this process and just kind of try to select some of these different images here. This will look best as a square, so we'll just do the 1 ratio here. Okay, so we have 15 selected assets, so we can come over here and look at all of our different selected assets. So these will all look good in our advertisements, so we're ready to click on save. And now we have all of our images here. Next is going to be logos. So again, if we just come over here, 2 different logos, a 4x1 landscape logo with a recommended size of 1200 by 300, and a 1x1 square logo with a recommended size of 1200 by 1200. So we're going to come in here and select our different logos. Okay, so I have a total of 3 logos selected here, so you could use up to 5. So one of these is a little bit smaller than the other. So one kind of is smaller here. If we come back to the other one, this one kind of fills out the entire logo. So a couple different logos and then just 1 square logo. So we'll click on save. And again, the reason you want to use all of your images and logos is because Google Ads is going to serve the top performing combinations. So you want to use 5 logos if you have some different logos to use. And you definitely want to use all 15 images. So we're going to scroll down here. Next is going to be videos. So if we click on plus videos, these are optional. So you can use videos directly from your YouTube channel. So what you want to do is upload videos to your YouTube channel that you can use for your responsive display ads. If I come over here to recently used, I have some different farmhouse furniture videos I can select. So this one's 25 seconds, this one's 30 seconds, this one's 19 seconds. So we'll use these 3 videos here and click on save. There's no downside to using all the videos that you can. There's no downside to using all of these different assets. It's only going to help your overall campaign performance. Now next is going to be our ad copy. So we'll start with headlines here. We can add up to 5 headlines. Again, we want to use all of our ad copy fields. We can use long headlines here. So you want to make sure you're using your long headline. So that's 90 characters. And then you get 5 description lines that you can use. So you want to make sure you're using all of your different description lines as well. And you want to use ad copy to really sell whatever it is that you're promoting. So in my case, it's going to be selling people on buying furniture from my website because they can save on furniture. They're going to get it quickly. There's not going to be any issues if they want returns. So you want to really understand your customer and what they're looking for here and make sure you're using selling points. So somebody who might be saying, okay, I don't want to wait months for furniture, you say fast shipping. You say products available, ready to ship now. You know, for somebody who might think the prices are too high, we have a discount code here, and we can also do top rated products at the best prices. So you really want to focus on some of the different selling points of whatever products or services you're selling now, and make sure that people understand that if they go to your website and purchase from your business, they're getting the best possible deal, the best possible product, and there's going to be no regret in their decision. So we're going to enter our ad copy here, and I'm going to fast forward through this part a little bit, but what you want to do is make sure you're using all of your headlines, create your long headline, use all of your description lines as well. Okay, so we have an ad strength of excellent after entering all of our ad copy. So we entered 5 different headlines here. So really focused on the sale, top rated farmhouse furniture, unique rustic style furniture, and then April 10% off furniture sale. We have our long headline. So best farmhouse furniture, save 10% in April, shipped fast and free. Next, we have our description lines. So we entered 5 description lines. So all of them really focusing on the sale, fast and free shipping, no hassle returns, making sure people understand they can shop farmhouse furniture for every single room in their house. We have living room, bedroom, patio, and more. So we really want to use different ad copy to make sure that whatever selling point is working the best at driving conversions on our website, Google Ads will continue to serve that selling point. So we have our responsive display ad here. What we can do is create another responsive display ad. So use some different ad copy, use some different images here, so some different assets, and that will only help your performance. The other thing that you can do is just duplicate this responsive display ad if you have multiple landing pages. So and all you need to do is just change your final URL here. Everything else will be exactly the same. And then whichever landing page is driving more conversions. So let's just say I have a page on my website. We're going to get rid of this here. That is just farmhouse furniture. So we're going to send people to that website as well, where we also have the code that people can use at checkout for 10% off furniture. But let's just say the page is set up completely differently than this one. All we need to do is change our final URL, leave everything else the same, and Google Ads will continue to serve whichever advertisement is driving the best results. Now, the other option here for advertisements is to upload display ads. So if we choose to upload display ads here, it's going to first tell us to enter our final URL. So we have our farmhouse furniture page here as our final URL. They're going to say ad groups with a responsive display ad have seen a 90% average increase in conversions. You do not need to upload advertisements. They used to be that was the only option you had for Google display ads, but responsive display ads have essentially all but replaced uploaded display ads. Every time I run campaigns, you see way more responsive display ad impressions, conversions, everything. So if we click here for supported sizes and formats, you can see all of the different ad sizes here that you can upload. So to create all these advertisements does take much longer because you need to create each individual size. You definitely, if you are creating your own advertisements and you don't want to create every single size, I would recommend 300 by 250. I would recommend 336 by 280. If you do a square, you could easily make a 250 by 250 and then just make it slightly smaller and do 200 by 200. For skyscraper, I would recommend using the 160 by 600 and 300 by 600. I would use all three mobile options here. And then for leaderboard, I would do 728 by 90. 970 by 90 and 970 by 250. If you do all of those sizes, you should get plenty of impressions on your Google display ads. I have actually created a few display ads for this campaign, so I'm going to upload them now. Okay, so not every size, but we have 320 by 50, 728 by 90, 300 by 600, 300 by 250, and then 300 by 50. And if we just click on one of these sizes, so we'll do our 300 by 600, you could see the way our ad looks, just a bunch of images, 10% off furniture sale, logo, shop now. So you want to make sure you have a call to action and you want to make sure that people really understand, what they're clicking your advertisement and what the message on the page is going to be. So you want to kind of create a seamless experience as best as possible. So we have our uploaded display ads here. So we can just click on create ad. And now if we scroll over here, you can see all of our different advertisements. So we're ready to launch our campaign now. So if we click on next, it's going to bring us to our campaign review. Okay, so we have our campaign name, our campaign type is display, objective is sales, goal is purchases. We have our final URL set, our campaign settings for locations, languages, and content exclusions, our budget, $33 per day, bidding strategy, target CPA of $3.10. And then in our ad group, we have some of these different audiences that we're targeting, and we have our ads here as well, so we're ready to publish our campaign. Okay, so once we launch our campaign, all we need to do now is run it and let it start getting some activity, some clicks, and see how our overall results look. If you do want to add additional targeting, all you really need to do is either add it to your existing ad group, or what you could do is take this ad group, and this is what I'll do sometimes, just do edit copy, and then come in here and do edit paste. So that will actually just duplicate our ad group. So it's going to be the exact same ad group that we're running. So we're just duplicating this ad group with the same exact advertisements we did in the previous step. Okay, so now you can see this is our initial ad group here, ad group 1, and then we have ad group 1 number 2. So here's our duplicate. All you need to do is go in your new ad group. You definitely want to rename your ad groups here. So all you want to do is go into this ad group, and then you can come over here to audience. And all you need to do is click on edit audience segments here, and that is going to bring up some of these different audience targeting options. So you can see the 3 that we selected in our initial ad group. So we can remove these 3 audience segments, and then we can just come back here into browse and choose some of these other options here. So if we want to maybe go to in-market and life events, let's go to life event, and let's say someone's purchasing a home. Let's say someone is moving. So when people move and purchase a home, a lot of times they buy new furniture. So we'll come back here. We could do detailed demographics and say people who are homeowners or renters, we want to target them as well. So you could play around with some of these different audience segments and see which ones actually work the best for your campaign. So that's one other option you have if you want to expand your targeting a bit. So if you have any questions about any of this, please leave them in the comment section. If we come back over here to all of our campaigns, we can look and see that our Google display ads campaign is launched now. Our bid strategy is learning. So for this promotion, we have a discovery campaign and a display campaign running. I could also create my performance max campaign around the promotion as well. So just some different options that you have as you're creating Google display ads and some of the other ad types. The next campaign we'll be going over are YouTube advertising campaigns. And with YouTube advertising, you're able to create video advertisements that can actually drive results for your business. So let's get started with a YouTube ads campaign. Today, I'm going to be going over YouTube advertising, and I'm going to be showing you a tutorial for how I would set up a campaign for a new client. This is exactly how I would run YouTube ads if somebody reached out to me and asked me to run a YouTube ads campaign. So to get started, what you're going to need is a Google Ads account. This is where we're going to run all of our YouTube advertising campaigns. Everything is housed in Google Ads. The other thing that you're going to need is a YouTube channel. So you can see I have a YouTube channel here for my brand Beachfront Decor. And what I am going to be promoting today is my beach Halloween decoration sale. Save 20% on all Halloween and fall decorations through October 15th. So I want people to see my videos, go to my website, and hopefully purchase one of these products or more from me. And we're going to be able to track every single purchase back to our YouTube advertising campaign. So what we want to do to get started is we want to come to our Google Ads account, and you want to go to Tools and Settings. Once you've created your Google Ads account, you have your YouTube channel, and you've uploaded your YouTube video advertisements. So you can see here, I have some 30-second videos. These are 6-second bumper ads, and these over here are 15-second ads. So I'm going to run some of these different advertisements for my campaign, and our goal is going to be to drive sales on our website. So once you have your YouTube video advertisements uploaded to your YouTube channel, you have your promotion ready on your website, you're ready to run your campaign. If you don't have your video advertisements created already, this is something you could potentially outsource for your business. If you're looking for a professional who does this for a living, they're going to create the best video advertisements. You could try to create your own using some of the different video creation softwares that are out there. I'm going to have a separate video about some of the different ways to create a YouTube video advertisement or just video advertising in general. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come over to Google Ads because we're all ready to run our campaign. And what we want to do first is under Setup is go to Linked Accounts. You want to make sure your YouTube channel is linked to your Google Ads account. So you can see there's a lot of different options for things that you can link to your Google Ads account. One of them is going to be YouTube. So you want to click on Details. In my case, it says Manage and Link since I already have mine linked. And when you click on the plus sign, all you need to do is search for your channel or paste the channel URL, and it will come up immediately, and you can request to link to that channel. And then all you need to do is just confirm the link, and you're going to be able to get additional information about view counts and engagement as far as your video advertising campaigns. And then you can also build remarketing audiences as well. Now, the next thing we want to do is set up conversion tracking on our website. I'm going to give you a pretty simple way to set up conversion tracking. So if we come over here to Tools and Settings and we go to Measurement and Conversions, what you're going to see is a page that looks like this. No active conversion actions if you haven't already set some up. So what I'm going to show you is how to use your Google Analytics 4 account to either import existing conversions that you're already tracking in Google Analytics 4, or how to create new conversions for some of the key pages on your website. So if we come over here to Tools and Settings, we're going to come right back to Linked Accounts under Setup, and we want to make sure our Google Analytics 4 account is linked to our Google Ads account. So we're going to click on Details, and what you're going to see is if you already have your Google Analytics 4 account set up. So in this case, through my Google account, I have administrative access to my Google Analytics 4 account here. So you can see it already shows up that I have my Google Analytics 4 account here. So all we need to do under Actions is click on Link. So once we click on Link, we can import our Google Analytics audiences after linking. So we're going to click on Link here. And now you can see these are linked. So what we could do is go to Tools and Settings. We're going to come back to our conversions page under Measurement, click New Conversion Action. If you already have your conversion action in Google Analytics 4, click on Import. So we're going to go to Import. We're going to click Google Analytics 4 Properties. We're going to click on Web, and we're going to click on Continue. Okay, so what you're going to see here is I already have an analytics event called Purchase. So I can take this event, import and continue, and this is going to be what we're going to optimize for our Google Ads campaign. So it's going to be our YouTube advertising campaign in Google Ads. This is what we're going to be optimizing for. So we're going to click on Done. Okay, and then one thing you just want to make sure is if we click on our conversion action under Details, if we come to Edit Settings, you want to make sure it's a primary action used for bidding optimization. So we have Purchase here. We scroll down. You can use the value and currency from your Google Analytics 4 property. Our source is Google Analytics 4. We have a click-through conversion window of 90 days, counting every conversion, and we're using the data-driven attribution model. So you can change some of those settings if you want. These settings work perfectly fine if you are running Google Ads and you want to make sure you're setting up conversion tracking. The other thing you can do is if you click on new conversion action here, after you link your Google Analytics 4 account, click on website. One of the options they're going to have is to enter your website domain and click on scan. So we're going to do that now. So we can scroll down here and you're going to see create conversion actions automatically from website events. So what you can do is select your conversion goal here. So let's just say, for example, somebody books an appointment on your website. You want that to be your conversion goal. All you need to do is choose your match type. So URL starts with, contains, or is. So let's just say contains. And let's say after somebody books an appointment on your website, they go to a URL called appointment confirmation. So they're going to go to that URL. You can click on add, and that is going to create a conversion goal called book appointment. It's going to count every single appointment as a conversion. And anytime someone lands on their appointment confirmation page, that's going to count as a conversion when that page loads. So people only land on this appointment confirmation page after they actually book an appointment on your website. So that's another way to set up your conversion action. If we click here to save and continue, you may see something that looks like this. So I removed the Google tag, the Google Ads global site tag from my website. So what it's going to say is copy and paste this Google tag on your website. We can copy this, and then all we have to do is come over to our website, and you can see I'm running a WordPress website. So I'm using a plugin called Head, Footer, and Post Injections in WordPress. And you can see I have my Google Tag Manager snippet set up here. But in the header of every single page, what I can do is just paste that global site tag for Google Ads. We scroll down, we click on save. Okay, so now that we have the global site tag on our website, what we can do is click on done. And you can see we have this new conversion action here. So it's unverified because nobody's been to this page on my website. It actually doesn't even exist on my website. But you can see we have another conversion action here along with the main one that we're going to be optimizing for. So what we're going to do now that we have our Google Ads account created, we have our YouTube channel created, we have uploaded our YouTube video ads to our YouTube channel, we've linked our YouTube channel to our Google Ads account, and we've set up conversion tracking. We are ready to run a campaign. So I know it might seem like a lot to get started, but this is going to help you get the most out of your campaign. Hey everyone, thank you for your support watching my videos over the years. If you want to continue to support my channels while also using some of the best marketing tools, you can try either SEMrush or SpyFu if you haven't already. Both are great PPC and SEO tools. If you use the link at the bottom here for either one, they are affiliate links, so it will help support my channel and support Surfside PPC. If you're not interested, no problem. Back to the video. And you can do all of this within 10 to 15 minutes. So we go to campaigns, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on the plus sign to create a new campaign. So with this new campaign, you want to choose your campaign objective first. So in my case, since my campaign objective is going to be sales, it's going to be that purchase conversion action. We're going to choose sales as our objective, and you're going to see the two conversion goals here. So we can actually use both of these conversion goals for our campaign, but what we're going to do is focus on purchases. So we're going to come over here and remove the book appointments goal from our campaign. We just want to optimize for purchases as far as our conversion goal, and we're going to click on continue. So now we want to select a campaign type. So since we want to reach people on YouTube and also across the web, we're going to choose video as our campaign type. And our goal is going to be to drive conversions with video ads designed to encourage valuable interactions with our business. So we're going to click on continue. Okay, so our general settings should look like this, where you have a video campaign, your goal should be sales or leads, and your subtype should be to drive conversions. So with our campaign name, what we're going to do is we're going to name it. Okay, so we have Beachfront Decor Halloween Sale 2022. We're going to scroll down. You're going to see our bid strategy. So the bid strategy you want to use, you could either use maximize conversions or target CPA. With target CPA, you can actually set what you want your cost per action to be or your cost per conversion. Let's just say, for example, the average purchase on my website is $75. I would want to make sure I have a target CPA that's well below $75. So you can see the two here, $11.13 or $25.82 for a typical target CPA for a video campaign. In my case, I'm just going to choose maximize conversions here. So we're going to just try to get as many conversions as possible within our budget. Now, what we have next is budget and dates. So with budget type, we can either choose daily or we can choose campaign total. So let's just say I know I want to spend $2,000 on this campaign. I'm going to run it starting September 14th. My promotion actually ends at the end of October 15th. So we're going to run this from September 14th directly through October 14th. So we're going to have this campaign end immediately on the day the promotion ends. So everyone can get all of the purchases in sometime over the next 31 days. So it's going to be about a $64.52 daily budget that runs for 31 days. We're going to have days that are going to spend more, some days that are going to spend less, but we won't spend more than $2,000. So we'll scroll down here. Next is going to be networks. So in this case, it's going to be all three networks here. YouTube search results. So our ads will appear next to search results on YouTube for responsive and in-feed video ad types. YouTube videos. So these are what you see most commonly. Video advertisements that run before, during, and after YouTube videos on channel pages and on the YouTube homepage. And then video partners on the display network. So websites that are part of the display network that are running Google AdSense that have videos, you can potentially run your video advertisement on those websites as well. So if you think about some type of news website that has a news video, your ad might appear before the news video plays. So we're going to keep scrolling down here. Next is going to be location targeting. So in my case, what I would generally try to do, since I'm targeting people with this beach message, is focus on locations that are near the beach. So if I go to advanced search and let's just say we're going to zoom in on the map real quick. So we'll zoom in on the map and you can see we stay over here with all of these different beach towns. Let's say I want to target people in Hilton Head, in Tybee Island, Folly Beach. So what I could try to do is pick out some of these big beach towns all along the United States. So I'm reaching people who actively live in beach communities. Now, for this, I'm going to target the United States, and I'm going to use a different targeting method that I think should help really focus in on people who have interests and purchase intentions of beach decor in general. So we're going to choose United States for our location, but if I really wanted to make this a great campaign, I would enter each of those locations individually so that I'm targeting all of these different beach communities and beach towns all across the United States. So we'll keep scrolling down. Select the languages our customers speak. So you want to set your language targeting here. We're going to keep scrolling down. Content exclusions. So I generally use standard inventory. If you don't care about your ads running on extremely sensitive content, use expanded inventory. If you want to make sure your ads are running on more PG-13 type content at the worst, then use limited inventory. So I'm going to stick with standard. Next is going to be excluded types and labels. So I've gone over this in some of my other videos. I generally exclude embedded YouTube videos, and I also exclude live streaming videos. And then for digital content labels to exclude, they automatically exclude content not yet labeled. You can also exclude content for mature audiences if you want. So especially if you're worried about some of the sensitive content, get rid of any content that is for mature audiences. So we can choose that for our inventory type and our excluded types and labels. Now next is going to be ad extensions. So you can actually put site link extensions on your advertisement. So with mine, what I can do is, let's just say I use my shop. So we'll copy link address here and we'll put the final URL shop. You want to make sure you're using your site link text here. So maybe I do beachfront decor shop. Use your description lines. I'm not going to write this for this individual video, so I'm not going to bore you with description lines, but you want to use your description lines here. They're not always going to show, and your site links aren't always going to show, but it never hurts to use different site links. So for site link 2, what I can do is something like fall beach decor and then link directly to my final URL for fall beach decor. So we'll enter that here. And then what you want to do is make sure you're entering these description lines, obviously, and then it has add at least 2 site link extensions. 4 or more is recommended. So keep adding site links. I would recommend adding at least 4 site links here. Make sure they're all relevant to your promotion. So you don't want to link to pages that have nothing to do with your promotion. So linking directly to your shop, linking directly to any other relevant pages is what you want to do here. I would want to set up a site link that links directly to a list of beach themed pumpkins on my website so people can find different types of pumpkin decorations. And then for site link 4, try to find something else that's relevant to fall or Halloween, since that's really what I'm promoting. So we'll click on save and we'll use those 2 site links for now. Again, use more. So keep scrolling down. Next, we're going to create our first ad group. So we're going to name our ad group in a minute, but I want to scroll down first and show you some different ways that we can target. So first is going to be demographics. So you want to make sure you select your demographic targeting that's going to be the most likely to convert based on the data you have on your website. So for mine, the best demographic targeting for me is going to be female, and it's going to be 25 and up. So I'm going to do female, 25 and up, and I'm not going to change parental status or household income. So we're going to choose that as our demographics, since that's going to be the most likely to convert on my website based on all the data I have about people who go to my website and convert. So next is going to be audience segments. So with audience segments, you're going to see here, we can use custom segments, target people based on their search activity, downloaded apps, or visited sites. Your data. Your data is always going to perform best for a campaign like this. So you can use your remarketing lists. So if we go to browse, you can potentially target your website visitors. So I have here all users of beachfront decor, all visitors, and purchasers of beachfront decor. So these haven't actually populated yet because I just linked my Google Analytics 4 account. So we also have YouTube users. So anyone who has viewed my video ad over the last 30 days or YouTube users over the last 30 days. So if you're running YouTube advertising campaigns and you're really trying to drive conversions, your data is going to perform the best for your business, but these are also people that have already previously interacted with your business. So you need to decide whether you want to keep reaching the same people who have visited your website, watch your YouTube videos, and incorporate them in your campaign, or if what you want to do is target custom segments or in-market segments. So you can also use a combination of your data, of custom segments, of in-market segments, because if we scroll down here, one of the things you're going to see is optimized targeting. So what Google Ads is going to do is go find people beyond our selected audience that they believe, based on all the data they have about our audience that we're targeting, our landing page, our assets, they're going to try to find people who are going to be the most likely to convert. So if they look and say, okay, I'm promoting a beach Halloween sale, my selected audience is highly relevant to beach decorations and Halloween decorations. Here's a group of people that also buy a lot of beach decor who are also actively looking for Halloween decorations. So that's what they're going to do with optimized targeting to try to reach people who are going to be the most likely to convert. For this campaign, I'm not going to be using my data, but feel free to add your remarketing list for your website visitors. You can use custom combination segments. So you can make sure you're adding your data here, or what I like to do is use similar segments. So once your lists start populating, for example, this all users of beachfront decor list, once this starts to populate, what you're going to get is a similar to all users of beachfront decor. That is who I would target for a campaign like this. So next is going to be custom segments. What I would recommend doing is creating custom segments. I have one here for beach Halloween keywords. And if we come over here and just scroll over, you can see I have a bunch of different keywords like beach autumn decor, coastal Halloween decor, beach pumpkin decor, coastal pumpkins, nautical Halloween decor. These are people that if we click on new custom segment, people who have searched for those terms on Google. So it's going to try to find people who have these different purchase intentions. So you can use Google search terms that are highly relevant to your landing page. So for me, beach Halloween, coastal Halloween, all of these different keywords, I'm targeting people who are actively searching these keywords on Google. Name your segment, enter your Google search terms here. You can also just go to your SEO keyword list or any of the keywords that you're actively bidding on through Google Ads already. Enter all those search terms here, click on save, and then you can target that custom segment. So you can see if I come to browse, I have a couple different custom segments here. One is beach decor purchase intentions, and one is beach Halloween keywords. So for this one, since my weekly impressions is 100 million to 500 million, I think it's a highly relevant audience, and it's probably going to be one of the best audiences I can target outside of targeting my data. So we're going to keep scrolling down here. The other thing you can add are in-market segments, life events, detailed demographics, and affinity segments. Now, affinity segments are going to be very broad interests. So somebody with banking and finance, it's people who have shown any level of interest in banking and finance, not people who are actively looking to purchase anything, just people who have shown some level of interest in some of these different affinity segments. So I'm probably in the food and dining affinity segments just because I look up recipes to cook for dinner sometimes. So that's kind of how affinity segments work. They're going to be very broad. Now you can use detailed demographics like parental status, marital status, education, home ownership, employment. Those could all be useful depending on what you're promoting. You can use life events, so people who have recently created a business, people who have recently graduated college, people who are actively doing a home renovation. So different life events could also be useful. I like in-market segments a lot. So with in-market segments, you're going to find people who are actively looking to purchase something. So for autos and vehicles, I can say motor vehicles, people who are actively looking to buy a new motor vehicle. So different things that you can target. You can also search here. So if I search something like Halloween, you're going to see Halloween costumes, information, events, supplies. So I can come here and target people looking for Halloween decorations. So you can see 150 million. So I can say, okay, let's target people who are looking for Halloween decorations, and let's target this beach Halloween keywords. And then what we're going to be doing is using optimized targeting. So what Google Ads can do is use some of the targeting that we set, and then also go out and find more people. Now we can incorporate our data as well here. So let's just say we want to target all users of beachfront decor. So as people do visit our website, we're going to keep targeting them with our ads. So if we use these three different segments, a custom segment of beach Halloween keywords, an in-market audience of people looking for Halloween decorations, and everyone who's visiting my website, we should be able to reach a very targeted group of people that are going to be the most likely to convert. So let's scroll down and let's click on advanced settings. So you can also narrow your reach for where you want your ads to show. Truthfully, I don't really ever do this anymore. I used to use placement targeting a lot. I used to incorporate topic targeting much more often, and I've used keyword targeting too. So if you use keyword targeting, you can enter a lot of different keywords here, and what they're going to do is target relevant content to those keywords. So if I use keywords like home and garden, home improvement, home renovation, it's going to try to find content related to those keywords. Keep in mind, it has nothing to do with what people are typing in, but more what types of websites people are visiting. Next is going to be topics. So you can say you want to show ads on content about specific subjects. So for the new car example before, you could say I only want to show my ads on topics related to autos and vehicles. So again, this isn't perfect. So if you're targeting content like this, you're going to see irrelevant content based on what you're targeting. So don't get too crazy with targeting content. I would highly recommend focusing more on your audience segments and who you're targeting rather than where you're targeting them. Placements, you can target by specific videos, specific YouTube channels, video lineups, websites, apps. So you can choose placements here. I've built massive placement lists before, but now I really just focus on audiences. Next is going to be to create our video ads. So we're going to come back over here, and I have some different video ads I'm going to run. So we'll start with this version 1. We will copy this link address. All you need to do is copy the URL for your video. So let's just open this video real quick. Okay, so we have our first video advertisement. You can see shop beachfront decor for coastal Halloween decorations. Save 20% until October 15th. Very basic video advertisement. So what we're going to do is paste the URL. This is why you want to upload your videos to YouTube first. You can see it's a 30-second video. So it's going to be a responsive video ad. This is most likely going to show as a skippable in-stream ad, but if we go through some of the different formats here, you can see in-feed video, you can see skippable in-stream. So a skippable in-stream ad, when someone is watching a video on YouTube, it's going to look like this, where they can skip the advertisement. It's going to have our logo, our brand name. You're going to see headline. So with headline, let's do Halloween sale. We have a call to action here. So with call to action, let's do shop now. So we have our call to action. We have our final URL, so where you want to send traffic to. This is going to be our landing page. We want people to come down and purchase some of these products. So we're going to enter our final URL. We have a display URL. So with that, maybe we can just do Halloween decor. Now we can also come over here and see what it looks like on desktop. So with desktop, we have same thing. So shop now over here. We have Halloween sale, beachfrontdecor.com. People can skip our ad, and then they're also going to have this overlay here as well. So just different ways your ad's going to look, just to get an idea of what your advertisement looks like to people who are viewing it. So scrolling down, long headline and description. Our long headline is 90 characters. Our description is 70 characters. So I'm going to enter both of those now. Okay, we have our long headline here, and you can see our long headline: save 20% on beach-themed Halloween and fall decorations through October 15th. Products are selling out fast. Shop today. So that's our description. So you don't have to use all the characters, and the characters might get cut off if you use every single character. So feel free to make sure you're just getting across the exact promotion you want people to take advantage of. So we have our call to action, our headline, our long headline, our description. And what we want to do next is create our companion banner, which shows, if we come over here to desktop, skippable in stream, companion banner shows right here above our logo, our headline, our URL, and our call to action. So I've already created a companion banner. You want to create one that's 300 by 60 pixels. So I'm going to come to this one that's already uploaded. Halloween 20% off sale. You're going to see it up here to the right hand side. So just another way to show our actual sale. It's not a huge image, so you can create multiple companion banners and run different ones along with your ads. So for this one, what we're going to do. Hey everyone, thank you for your support watching my videos over the years. If you want to continue to support my channels while also using some of the best marketing tools, you can try either SEMrush or SpyFu if you haven't already. Both are great PPC and SEO tools. If you use the link at the bottom here for either one, they are affiliate links, so it will help support my channel and support Surfside PPC. If you're not interested, no problem. Back to the video. Okay, we have 30-second video ad 1, and now we come down here to ad creation, and that's our first video advertisement, a responsive video ad. So let's create a new video ad, and we're going to do the same exact thing. You want to copy the URL, so we could do this with version 2. Similar video ad, just different images, a little bit different copy. And I can also use some of these shorter videos down here as well. So let's just actually do a shorter video. We'll use this 15-second video. So we're going to copy the link address for this one. We're going to paste it. Okay, so this is going to be, it's actually a 14-second video. So it's going to be 14 seconds. People can skip this one as well. It's a skippable in-stream ad. So we're going to come over and do the same exact thing. So we'll paste our final URL here. We have our display URL. We'll do the same thing. Now what you can do is try different headlines. So since your headline's only 15 characters, my other one I did Halloween sale. What I could do is something like 20% off decor. Okay, and then it's a little bit bigger and it kind of highlights our actual promotion rather than just putting Halloween sale. So you can test different headlines, different long headlines and description lines as well. Okay, we're going to use the same long headline, save 20%. Description, I did Coastal and Beach Halloween Decorations Ultimate 2022 Guide, which is really just the name of our article here. So you can test different ad copy out. You can use the same advertisement like we use the 30-second video ad 1 and just test different ad copy and see if anything works better. So we can also use different companion banners. We're just going to use the same one across this campaign. So let's see, we have everything here. So we're ready to create a new video ad. Okay, so we have our 30-second ad, we have a 14-second ad. Let's do one more 30-second ad. So we'll do version 2 here. We're going to copy the link address again, and we're going to paste again up here. So now we have another 30-second ad, and we'll just enter our ad copy. Okay, so for this one, for display URL, I'll put Halloween sale. We'll do shop now. We'll do 20% off today. Okay, we'll try to create a little urgency. Okay, so long headline, I just have save 20% today on beach Halloween decorations. Description, get fall coastal inspiration for your beach home decor. So you can test a lot of different ad copies. And companion banner, you could auto generate using our channel banner. I'm just going to keep using the image we've already uploaded. So we have, okay, I'm going to create one more 15-second video ad. So we're going to click to create one more, and I'm going to fast forward to this part a little bit. Okay, so now we have a second 15-second version, so 14 seconds, but not a huge deal. So we have our two 30-second video ads. We have our two 15-second video ads. We're ready to create our campaign. Okay, our campaign is ready. We can continue to our campaign. Now, one thing to keep in mind, and I always go over this after I create a new campaign, is we can run this campaign with just this one ad group. There's plenty of different audience targets in this ad group that we're going to be reaching a lot of different people throughout this entire campaign that we're running for the next 31 days, spending $2,000. So what you want to do is you want to monitor your performance early on for this campaign. See if you're driving conversions, see how long people are watching your videos, and see if any of your advertisements are resonating. If you're having issues, a couple different ways to improve video performance. try a different video ad, create something that's different from the other ones you already have been running. You can always incorporate new video ads. Maybe you want to do one after a couple weeks of running this campaign. Incorporate a couple different video ads. You can try longer versions, you can try shorter versions. So it's always worth testing your actual advertisements. You can also test your landing page. If you're finding that people are clicking through to your landing page and they're not ever converting, then what you want to do is try a different landing page. Maybe make sure your sale is more prominent on the landing page. Make sure you have products right at the very top when people go and visit your page. So you can always test different landing pages, different advertisements. And if you come over here to ad groups, let's just say you create a couple new videos, you can always come over here to ad groups and take your existing ad group, come select it, go to edit, copy, and then edit, paste. And it's going to paste that exact ad group with all of the advertisements you've already created. So what you can do is adjust your targeting in there. Maybe you want to try to target some different types of content, some topics, use keywords to target some different pages, use placements if you know you want your ads to run in certain places. So you can always try that. You can try to narrow down your targeting a little bit more to just your remarketing audiences or people who are actually actively viewing your videos. So all of these different things can help improve performance after you launch your campaign. And the number one thing about Google Ads is you need to test your campaigns for a little bit, because you might run your campaign for 1, 2, 3 days and you're not really seeing conversions. You're going to see your campaign performance improve over time, and it will only help over time if you do test your ads, your landing pages, your audiences, the content where your ads are showing. So you can always adjust all of those things for your campaign. And let's just say we come into settings here real quick. So you can adjust your bid strategy too. So if you start driving conversions, you can always switch to a target CPA bid strategy. So just some different options that you have as far as your bidding, the advertisements people are seeing, where people are going after they're done with the advertisements. So keep that in mind as you are running your campaign, because your performance should improve over time with your YouTube advertising campaigns. So let's come back over here. We have our Halloween sale. This is how I would set up a YouTube video advertising campaign for a client. Next, I want to cover one of the most powerful targeting features through Google Ads, and that's remarketing. So I want to give you a quick overview of remarketing, how you can create different remarketing audiences using your Google Analytics 4 account and using Google Tag Manager, and how you can use those remarketing audiences in your Google Ads campaigns. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to be going over Google Ads remarketing, and I'm going to show you exactly how to create Google Ads remarketing audiences, which are also referred to as data segments, and how to target them in your campaigns. So to get started, our goal in this video is when you go to your tools and settings in your Google Ads account, one of your options is going to be under shared library, and it's going to be audience manager. So within audience manager, you're going to have your data segments. So you can see all of my data segments here, and these are different, basically remarketing audiences that I can target within my campaigns. And you can see the size of every single audience over here. So if I'm targeting all users to my website over the last 540 days for a display campaign, it's showing there are 67,000 different people that I can target. So I'm going to show you how to create these data segments today using Google Analytics and using Google Tag Manager. And I'm also going to show you how to use YouTube as well, so you can target, if you do have a YouTube channel, people who have either subscribed to your channel or watched your videos. So we're going to get started with Google Analytics, and I'm going to go over how to do this with Google Analytics 4 and Universal Google Analytics. So the first thing you need to do is enable Google Signals with Google Analytics. So this video assumes that you have an active Google Analytics account with the pixel placed on your website, and you have an active Google Ads account. So if we come over here to Google Analytics, this is my Google Analytics 4 account. You can see GA4, and then this is my Universal Analytics account. So you can see all website data. So when we start here in Google Analytics 4, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you have Google Analytics 4 properly installed on your website. Once you're getting some data about your traffic, what you want to do is go to your admin. So you're going to click on admin on the bottom left-hand corner, and you're going to click on data settings and data collection. You're going to see an option here that says enable Google Signals data collection, and you want to make sure this is on. And then once you do that, you're all set. The only thing you need to do is click down here and acknowledge the user data collection agreement. So once you've done that, you're all set with Google Analytics 4. Now, if you're using Universal Google Analytics, what you want to do is, again, go to the bottom left-hand corner and click on Admin. So you're going to see the admin link down here in the bottom left-hand corner. And then what you want to do is click on Tracking Info, and you want to do the same thing. It's going to be Data Collection. So in Google Analytics 4, it's going to be under Data Settings, Data Collection. In Universal Analytics, it's going to be under Tracking Info and Data Collection. And you want to make sure you turn on Data Collection for Google Signals and go to the bottom and click on Save. So that's all you need to do to get started, because that's going to allow you to actually build the remarketing audiences within your Google Analytics accounts. Now, if you're not running Google Analytics at all yet, there is a Get Started guide right on the Google Analytics Help website. And what I'll do is I'll put this link in the video description so I can show you, this will show you how to set up Google Analytics for the first time. And it's basically meant for any type of website that you have. So you need to create a free Google Analytics account to get started. And once you do that, all you need to do is set up analytics on your website. If you're running a WordPress website, there are a ton of different plugins that can help you out. So there's a lot of information out there about how to install Google Analytics, and it takes about 2 minutes to do. So it's going to take you as long to install it as it will to actually get it installed on your website. So it's a very easy software to work with, and it's completely free. So number one, you want to enable Google Signals with your Google Analytics account. And then from there, what you want to do is link your Google Ads and your Google Analytics accounts. So there's different ways to do this, but if you go to Google Analytics and we come back to the admin screen again, what you want to do is scroll down to the bottom. So we're in Google Analytics 4 here, and we're going to click on Google Ads links. So right here, you're going to see I have my Google Ads account already linked to my Google Analytics 4 account. If you don't, what you want to do is click on link here and go through the process of linking your accounts. So I use the same Google account for both of my Google Analytics accounts and my Google Ads accounts. So it's very easy to link accounts, because all you need to do is come here, click on link. So you're in Google Ads links. You want to click on the link option here, and then you want to choose Google accounts. And from there, it's going to select the account that is already linked to your email. So we're going to close this for now. And the other thing you want to do is make sure you link your Universal Analytics account. Now, keep in mind, you can choose to just use Google Analytics 4. I've had Universal Analytics installed on my website for several years now. So when Google Analytics 4 came out, I set up both of them on my website. There's really no issue with using both. You're probably better off using one or the other, and Google seems like they're shifting completely towards Google Analytics 4. So you might be best off just using Google Analytics 4 to build your remarketing audiences, but it's really a matter of preference. There's different ways to do it. So you want to make sure you have your Google Ads account linked here, and then within Universal Analytics, so again, we're coming right to the admin screen here again. Under product links, you want to click on Google Ads links, and you can see I have mine linked here. If you don't, click on new link group. Again, if you already have the same email address or the same Google account for both accounts, it should be very easy to link, and it should come right up. All you need to do is click on it, click on continue, link, just say all available data, and that's it. That's all you need to do, and it's going to link those two accounts together. Now, the other thing you can do is within your Google Ads account, go to Tools and Settings, and we're going to scroll down here to Setup, and what you want to do is click on Linked Accounts. So within your Google Ads account, you can also link Google Analytics 4. You can link Google Analytics, the Universal Analytics Edition. So you can link both of those. I have my Google Search Console account linked, and I have my YouTube channel linked here. So all you need to do is when you scroll down, you're going to see some of these different options here, and you just want to click on Details. And when you go into Details, it's very easy to link these accounts. So within Google Analytics, if I click on Manage and Link here, what it's going to do is pull up your account here, and it's going to give you the option to link that account. Now, one thing you're going to see here is if you don't see your analytics property below, make sure you have edit access. So you need a minimum of edit access to the Google Analytics property. So linking your accounts might seem like something it's difficult to do, but it's actually very easy. If you have ownership of your Google Analytics account, ownership of your Google Ads account, just go to Tools and Settings, go to Setup, go to your linked accounts, and you're going to see them all there. And it's the same way with YouTube. So with YouTube, all I did is I have my YouTube channel here for Farmhouse Goals. I don't really use it. I only have 2 videos that I've ever uploaded that I've used as an example for video advertising campaigns. But let's just say I want to link my YouTube channel to my Google Ads account. You go into this linked account section, click on Manage and Link or Details if you haven't set it up yet. It's going to pull up your channel. So you can see right here, it pulls up my channel for Surfside PPC. So I can link this account. because I do have ownership to my Surfside PPC channel through this email. So that's basically what you need to do, is make sure you have given yourself a high enough level of access, and you can do that right through Google Analytics through the account access management. And within there, you can add any email, and you want to make sure you at least have edit access. And then from there, it's very easy to link your accounts. So 1 and 2, enable Google Signals with Google Analytics and make sure your Google Ads and Google Analytics accounts are linked. Now, again, I want to say this one more time, but you can just do this with one version of Google Analytics. I'm just showing you with both because both will still work. So the next thing we need to do is create our audiences within Google Analytics. Those are the people that we're actually going to be targeting with our advertisements. So we're going to start here in Google Analytics 4. And from here, what you want to do is click on Configure. And within Configure, you're going to click on Audiences. And you can see here, I have an all users audience. So this is a 30-day audience. So anybody who has visited my website over the last 30 days, there's 19,580 unique people that have visited my website. There's purchasers. So I'm not actually using the purchasers event. So this is not an audience that's going to populate. But you can also see I have a first visit audience for the last 75 days. So the way that I did that is I clicked on new audience right here. You want to create a custom audience. You can name your audience up at the top and add a description. And then what you want to do is click on add new here. And under events, there are some different events that you can actually target. So the conversion on my website is affiliate click. So if I click on affiliate click, then anybody who has actually converted on my website, so you can see over the last 30 days, 1.8 thousand people have clicked on a affiliate link on my website. So what I can do is target anybody who has clicked on one of those links. So the other thing I can do is, let's just use the one I did earlier. Clicked App Store. So we'll scroll down here and let's just say I do page view is one of them that I can do, or first visit. So first visit, so that means it's their first visit to my website, and we have a 30-day duration. So doing that, I can just name my audience, click on save, and what it's going to do is create an audience that looks just like this one. And then once it populates, I can start targeting it with my Google Ads account. So that's Google Analytics 4, and there's a lot of different audiences that you can create. You can do them for basically any event that's happening on your website, people who have visited specific pages. Now, if we come over here to Universal Analytics, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the admin section again. And under the property portion here, so the center column here, if we scroll down, you're going to see audience definitions and audiences. So we're going to click on audiences there. And you can see here, I have an all users 540 days. So if you click on a new audience, it's going to say audience source, all website data. So that's basically all the data that's being collected within our Google Analytics account. If we come down and say new users, so anybody who is visiting for the first time, for this, it's a user type, new visitors over the last 30 days. It's saying I have about 6,000 new users over the last 7 days. So I have a 30-day membership duration, name our audience. So what I can do is new visitor, 30 days, click on next step. Next is going to be audience destinations. So with Universal Analytics, you need to publish this audience to your Google Ads account. And you want to publish it in Google Analytics so it continues to build. So we have it for both of these different destinations. We click on publish, and now this audience is going to start populating, and we can start targeting it within our campaigns. So if we come back over here, you're going to see we enabled Google Signals, we linked our accounts, we created audiences in Google Analytics, and we've published them to Google Ads. Now the next thing we need to do is target data segments with our Google Ads campaigns. So we're going to come back over here and we're going to go to our Google Ads account, and let's come to Tools and Settings. Under Shared Library, we're going to go to our Audience Manager, and within our Audience Manager, you're going to see our segments. So on the left-hand side, one of the options is segments. And the other thing we can do is if we come down here to your data sources, any place that you've actually linked up any data that you're collecting about people, whether it's your Google Ads tag, whether it's Google Analytics Universal, Google Analytics 4, whether it's YouTube. If we come down here, you can see you can link other accounts here as well. So if we scroll up, you can see that all of these are actively collecting data about people who are visiting my website, farmhousegoals.com. So I just did the Google Ads tag yesterday, and I just actually enabled Google Signals for Google Analytics 4. So these audiences haven't completely populated yet, but I do have my audiences completely populated for Google Analytics, the Universal Analytics option. So if we come over here to segments, you're going to see all of the different audiences that I can target with my campaigns. So this one right here, Farmhouse Sinks, it's people who have visited specific pages on my website. So segment members, visitors of a page with Google Analytics tags, eligibility, search, display, Gmail, not eligible for app installs and app engagement, but it is for hotel and discovery. So all of these are different campaign types that I can use with this specific audience. It's a very small audience, so it's not one I'd really target. What you want is to have at least thousands of people on these segments that you're creating with your data segments. So you can see with search, with display, with YouTube, with Gmail, some of these might be too small to serve. You want to have at least 1,000 people on your lists. The more you have, the better, because obviously it's going to help give you a bigger audience to target. So now what we can do is come back over here and we're going to look at our campaigns real quick. And let's just say we have our search campaign right here. And let's say I want to make sure I'm targeting anybody who has visited my website with my search campaign. What you're going to do is you're going to come down here on the left-hand side and click on audiences. So right now we're at the campaign level with our audiences, and we're going to scroll over here and click on edit audience segments. So right now it's saying add to campaign. There's two options here, targeting and observation. If you choose targeting, it's going to narrow the reach of our campaign to the selected segment with the option to adjust bids. So what that means is if I have 160,000 people in my audience and I choose targeting, it's only going to target that 160,000 people when they search the search terms that I am targeting with my search network campaign. If I choose observation, it's going to target everybody. They don't have to be a part of my remarketing lists. It's going to target everybody who is searching the keywords that I'm targeting. I would highly recommend using observation. You can see it's recommended here. Targeting is really going to narrow the reach of your campaign unless you have really large audiences, because you're only targeting people who are on your lists when they search your targeted keywords, rather than giving the option to bid higher or lower to people who are on your lists when they search targeted keywords. So you want to use observation here for your search network campaigns. And then what you can do is come over here to browse. You can see there's a few selected over here, but what you want to do is come over here to browse, choose your data and similar segments. So it's your data segments and similar segments. And what we're going to do is you're going to see website visitors right here. So I can say anybody who has visited my website over the last 540 days, I want to make sure I'm observing how they're performing. It's also going to add these other affinity segments, detailed demographics, and in-market segments to my campaign, but they're all observation audiences. So we're choosing anybody who's visited my website over the last 540 days, and we're going to click on save. Okay, so now once we have these audience segments added to our search campaign, we're going to click on show table. And now you're going to see we have these different audience segments here. They're all the observation targeting setting. So what that means is I can say, okay, anybody who's visited my website over the last 540 days, I want to do a bid adjustment where I'm increasing my bid by 25%. So a $10 bid will become $12.50 because I know those people have visited my website. They're familiar with my brand. So I want to target them with my advertisements. I want to make sure that they're seeing my advertisements rather than someone who hasn't been to my website before. So we click on save here, and now I'm increasing my bid for anybody who's visited my website. I could do the same thing for homeowners. So I can say, okay, someone who's a homeowner, I'm selling home decor and furniture, they're going to be more likely to purchase from me. So I want to increase my bid by 25% for them too. Now, what you really want to do is use the observation setting, and you're going to start getting data about how all of these different audiences are performing for your campaign. So you can see here, I don't have a ton of data here yet, but as you get more clicks and you're spending more, and there's people that are in specific in-market audiences or specific remarketing data segments that you've created, you can increase or decrease your bids. So that's how to do this for remarketing lists. For search ads is what it used to be referred to. Now they are data segments and audience segments for your search ads. So what we're going to do next is we're going to come back out to our all campaign screen, and let's just say we want to create a new display campaign. So we come over here, we click on the plus sign, we want to create a new campaign. Let's say we want to drive sales. So we'll use all the conversions in my account. Just click on continue. So you want to make sure you have at least one conversion here. And then what we want to do is we're going to choose display, and we're going to use a standard display campaign. So you can enter your website here. You can name your campaign. I'm just going to leave those as is for right now and just click on continue. Okay, so you're gonna have your campaign settings. You wanna choose your location targeting. You wanna choose your language targeting. Then you wanna come down here to budgeting and bidding. Make sure you set your budget, set your bidding strategy. And then the next thing is going to be targeting. So it says optimized targeting is set up for you. So that means that Google Ads is automatically gonna use data from my landing page and my assets, which are my advertisements, to basically try to find people that are gonna be the most likely to convert. Now what I can do is add targeting here, and you can see audience segments. So we choose audience segments, and this is gonna give us the option of detailed demographics, affinity audiences. But what you wanna do is come down here to how they have interacted with your business. So this is using our data and similar segments. So we're gonna click here. You can see website visitors, and let's just use our all users for the last 540 days. So this is gonna target anybody who has visited my website the last 540 days. The total weekly available impressions, these are just estimates, is 140 million using just this audience. So again, if your audience size is a little bit too small, let's just say I just want to target bedding for the last 30 days, you're probably not going to have many impressions here at all. 1.1 million impressions is not really a ton over the course of a week. So you want to make sure you have enough impressions so you can actually get your advertisement out there to people and make sure that they're seeing it, clicking on it, and hopefully converting. So once we do this, we choose this as our audience. We can select done. You can enter multiple remarketing lists here. Again, if I have all users over the last 540 days, that's probably going to basically include anybody on all of these audiences here. I could do something like the new visitor over the last 30 days. I can do my smart list, which is automatically created by Google Analytics of people that are going to be more likely to convert, returning users, purchasers. So there's different audiences you can target here. But what you can do is just click on done. We have optimized targeting on, so that allows Google Ads to find people beyond my targeting signals. If I just want people who have visited my website to see my ads, you want to get rid of optimized targeting here, and we're just going to show our ads to all users over the last 540 days. Our impressions have dropped to 63 million over the course of a week, so that's available impressions. So that should be enough for us to run our ads, but this is how you target remarketing ads to specific data segments that you've built based on people who have visited your website for display campaigns, and it's going to be the same exact thing for video campaigns. So when you're creating a video campaign, you're going to do the same exact thing where you're just coming in here, creating a new campaign, and select the goal, choose your conversion goals, click on continue. You just want to choose video here, and then you would do the same thing as go to your segments and choose your remarketing audiences. So what we want to do next is come up here to tools and settings, and we're going to come back over to our shared library, click on audience manager. So the last two things I want to go over is if you click on the plus sign here, you can create new website visitor audiences directly through Google Ads, name your audience segment. You want to choose your segment members. So you have different options here: visitors of a page who also visited another page, people who did not visit another page, specific dates, and page with specific tags. You could do page URL contains. So if I want to say, okay, any page URL that contains sinks. So basically anybody who has visited my farmhouse sinks pages. So that page URL contains sinks. I could just do that. I can scroll down here. It's going to say pre-fill segment with people who have matched rules within the past 30 days. So anybody who has visited any sinks page on my website over the last 30 days will automatically be added to this audience. Membership duration, so you could say the number of days someone stays in this audience segment. You could do something like 7 days. The maximum duration is 540 days. So depending on how you want to target people, for large websites that get a ton of traffic, you can do membership durations very small, 3, 4, 5 days, and then you're reaching people immediately. So that makes sure you're getting people right as they're in the purchasing process, which something like sinks, that would make the most sense. Now, I don't get enough traffic. I would have a larger audience than 0 here because I do get traffic to those pages. So if you do see 0 here, I wouldn't worry too much. Just create the audience. You can start targeting it. If you're not getting impressions, you just want to make sure that you have your accounts properly linked. You have your Google signals enabled through your Google Analytics accounts, and then you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is click on the plus sign, and I already showed you how I linked my YouTube channel. So if you click on YouTube users, you can see select the YouTube channel of this audience segment. So I have my Farmhouse Goals YouTube channel here. Viewed any video from a channel. It's going to be if anybody who viewed any video from my channel, I can pre-fill people with the last 30 days. You can say people stay in this audience for 30 days, 540 days. So what I could do with Surfside PPC is say anybody who watched my Google Ads remarketing video, I want to retarget them with some advertisement. I can create an audience based on specific videos. So certain videos here, viewed any video as an ad, viewed certain videos as an ad, subscribers, visited a channel page, liked a video, added a video to a playlist, shared a video from a channel. So I could use all of these for Surfside PPC and I'd be able to target people with specific advertisements. So that's one option you have with YouTube. And all you need to do is make sure you have a YouTube channel, and you want to make sure your YouTube channel is linked to your Google Ads account by going to Tools and Settings, Setup, and Linked Accounts. So that's how to target your YouTube users, anybody who's watched videos, anybody who's subscribed, etc., etc. So last but not least, I want to go over Google Tag Manager and also how you can just add the Google Ads pixel directly to your website. So what you can do is, if we come over here to Data Sources, one of the options is going to be the Google Ads tag. So you can forego the Google Analytics altogether. So let's just say you're not running Google Analytics, you just have a Google Ads account and a website. So if we come in here to Details and we scroll down, you're going to see Tag Setup at the bottom. So if we click on Tag Setup, one option you have is to install the tag yourself. You can email the tag. So if you're actually working with somebody else who manages your website, you can email them the tag and they can place it on your website, or you can use Google Tag Manager. So the easiest way to do this is install the tag yourself and take this little code snippet right here. And all you're going to do is copy this code snippet, copy the tag below, and paste it in between the header tags on every page of your website. So you want to make sure you're collecting all the data from people on every single page of your website. So if they visit, let's say, my farmhouse goals decorations page, if they go to one of my sinks pages, if they go to a furniture page, basically you're tracking people around your website. And then you can use that data to create audiences in Google Analytics, just the way I showed you. Go to segments, create a new website visitor audience, and just basically set up whether you want to do all visitors, people who have visited specific pages, and you can create your audience and target them in your campaigns. Now, if you're using Google Tag Manager, it might seem kind of complicated, but it's not that difficult. You need to create a Google Tag Manager account if you don't have one already. You need to create a new container and you need to publish that container. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add our tag to our Google Tag Manager container. So I already have a Google Tag Manager account for Farmhouse Goals. So when you go into your Google Tag Manager account, what you can do is create different tags, triggers, variables. So I'm not going to go through too much here because it can get pretty complicated if you're not familiar with Google Tag Manager. The first thing you want to do is make sure you create your tags, and you can see here I have a couple I did yesterday. So Google Ads Conversion Linker and Google Ads Remarketing Tag. So if you go to tags, what you want to do is click on New. You're going to see tag configuration here. We're going to click on it. You're going to see Google Ads Remarketing. Now the other one is Conversion Linker. So you can do Conversion Linker first, do that, enable linking on all page URLs. You want to trigger it on all pages. So this is exactly what it should look like. Name it Conversion Trigger, click on Save. So, or Conversion Linker, excuse me, and click on Save. So we have Conversion Linker. We're enable linking on all page URLs. So what that means is Google Ads can actually track where conversions come from, and it allows people that if they click from an organic search result, if they click from a Google advertisement, if they click from basically anything, Google Ads can understand where that conversion came from. So you need to make sure you have Conversion Linker enabled here on all page URLs. You want to trigger it on all pages, click on Save. So that's step one. We're going to discard changes. I already have my Conversion Linker tag right here. You'll see it looks exactly like the one I just showed you. So we're going to click on the X. The next thing we're going to do is click on New again. You can also go right from your workspace and just click on New Tag here. And you're going to choose a tag and you're going to click on Google Ads Remarketing. Now you're going to see Conversion Linker tag found in container. So if you haven't set that up already, you're going to have to set that up. It's going to have a conversion ID here. So for this, you go back to your Google Ads account. We're going to copy our conversion ID right here. It's under step 4. So when you go to your data sources, you click on Google Ads tag, you go down to the instructions, you're going to see your conversion ID right here. You're going to copy this number, come back over to Google Tag Manager, enter this right here. Now you don't really need to change anything else. There are some additional advanced settings here, but that's all you need to do in this top portion is Google Ads Remarketing, enter your conversion ID, and we're going to trigger this on all pages. So what that's going to allow us to do is collect data from everybody who is visiting our website. It's going to go across every single page, and it's essentially going to add the tag that I showed here to our website using Google Tag Manager. So as long as we have Google Tag Manager installed on our website properly, these audiences will always be able to be created because it's going to just constantly be collecting data for people who are visiting our website. So you're going to click on Save. And then from there, all you need to do is make sure you submit and publish your container. So you want to submit the changes. So enter name, enter description, click on publish. And what that will do is put the Google Ads tag directly on your website. Again, you can also just do this manually, put this piece of code in between your header tags on your website, and you're done with it. And you can start creating your data segments right away. Click on the plus sign, click on website visitors, and you're ready to start using your remarketing audiences. So once you have all these audiences created, you're able to create new campaigns or add them to existing campaigns. Just choose your goal, select the conversion goals you want to actually optimize for, click on continue, choose your campaign type. So let's just say a video campaign, we're going to drive conversions. And then within your targeting, all you need to do is make sure you go down to your data segments and you're going to be able to target people who have visited your website. So we scroll down here. Okay, and you can see people who you want to reach. So right now our weekly estimates for available impressions, 10 billion plus. Choose an audience segment. So what you can do is use your data. So just come right here. We'll just choose all users 540 days because that's one I keep choosing. And then what we can do is target people who have visited our website over the last 540 days. Now, depending on your industry, what you're selling, you might want to reach people within 7 days, within 30 days. For something like farmhouse goals, if I know someone is living in a farmhouse style home, then all I need to do is keep them collected on my remarketing list and I can target them whenever I want to. So my weekly available impressions right now, 240 million. And it's really that simple. And you can combine these with other in-market segments or any custom audiences you've created. But I really just wanted to focus on Google Ads remarketing. And this should help you get started with how to do it using Google Analytics and also using Google Tag Manager. Okay, last but not least are Google Ads call campaigns. So for advertisers who really just focus on phone calls and want their potential clients to just give them phone calls, not worried about any other action, you want to try a call campaign, which will create mobile click-to-call ads, and it's going to encourage people to call your business directly. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to be going over Google Ads call campaigns. With call campaigns, you can create call-only ads. So when someone searches one of your targeted keywords on a mobile device, they can click on your advertisement and call you directly. To get started, what you want to do is set up conversion tracking for phone calls that last a certain period of time. So we're going to go to Tools and Settings, and under Measurement, we're going to click on Conversions. Now this is where all of our conversions are. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new conversion action, and we want to create a phone calls conversions action. So we're going to choose the top, we're going to choose phone calls here, and then the top one, calls from ads using call extensions or call only ads. Now keep in mind, you can use call extensions on a standard search campaign where people are clicking through to your website, and then your mobile call extensions will also show up to allow people to click to call you directly. So if you want to give people the option of going to your website or giving you a phone call, then you want to use a standard search campaign with call extensions. In this case, we're creating call only ads. So on mobile devices, it's only going to show up as a click to call advertisement. So we're going to choose this at the top and click on continue. We don't need to change the goal and action optimization. It's going to be a phone call lead. And then down here, we need to name our conversion. So let's just say 90-second phone call. Okay, so we can set a value for every single phone call. So if you do have data for your business where you know that you get a certain number of phone calls every single month and those phone calls turn into X amount of dollars for your business, you can set that up here. You can estimate it if you want. So if you say, every single phone call for my business is worth about $50, then we can set that as our value for every single conversion. Otherwise, you can just say don't use a value for this conversion action, and it's just going to count each individual conversion. So we're going to use the same value for each conversion and set it at $50 and say each phone call from these ads is worth $50 to my business. So we're going to keep scrolling down here. For count, we want to choose 1 because every single phone call is not going to be considered a separate lead. We want to just use 1 because if someone calls us twice, that's really only 1 lead because it's only 1 customer. So we're going to choose 1 here, and then we're going to go down here to call length, and this I'm going to change to 90 seconds. So what we're saying is if someone calls us through one of our advertisements and they're on the phone for 90 seconds or longer, then it's going to count as a conversion. Click-through conversion window is going to be 30 days. We'll keep that as is. And then attribution model, it has data-driven here, but in this case, I'm just going to choose last click because we're just going to choose every time someone clicks on our advertisement and then has a 90-second phone call. We don't need to track them through the entire process, so we're just going to do last click here. Data-driven can be much more useful if you are sending people to your website, but in terms of just driving phone calls, we're just going to use when someone clicks on our advertisement, whether they convert or not. So we're going to click on create and continue. And now you can see we have our 90-second phone call conversion action created. So we can click on done here. And as you can see, we have our 90-second phone call set up here. So we're going to scroll down here to custom goals, and we're going to add another custom goal, and we're going to name it the same thing. So 90-second phone call. And what we're going to choose from here is this 90-second phone call conversion action we just created, and we're going to click on save. Okay, so now we have a new custom goal created, which uses this conversion action for 90-second phone call. So let's come back to our Google Ads account. Let's come to the campaign screen, and we're going to click on the plus sign to create a new campaign. Now, the first thing you're going to have to choose is your campaign objective. For a Google Ads call campaign, your objectives you can choose are sales, leads, or create a campaign without a goals guidance. I would recommend choosing leads, and then what we want to do is we want to add a goal down here, and you're going to see our custom goal, 90-second phone call. So that's going to be the goal that we're optimizing for, and then we're going to remove these other conversion goals. So you can use multiple conversion goals here if you have multiple conversion goals you want to optimize for. We're just going to be optimizing for this phone call, and our main goal is going to be to drive phone calls and drive specifically 90-second phone calls that will turn into leads for our business. So what we're going to do next is click on continue. The only option here as far as the campaign type is going to be a search campaign. So we're targeting people who are searching keywords in the Google search engine with their mobile devices. So select the ways you'd like to reach your goal. We're going to choose phone calls. And what we need to do now is enter our phone number here. Now, this is an important step, obviously, because you need to put your phone number, but you also need to have your phone number in some place on your website where Google Ads can read it. So if you see here on Surfside PPC, I have call us today and I have a fake phone number here, but on my contact us page. So we're going to copy this phone number right here. We're going to come back over and we're going to paste that phone number right there. So you want to keep it in the same exact format as Google Ads or as close as possible to it. So we have our United States as the country, our phone number here, and now let's name our campaign. For this specific tutorial, I'm just going to pretend I'm creating the Surfside Plumbing Company. So we have Surfside Plumbing, and that's going to be my campaign name. My goal is going to be to try to get people to click on my call only ads and give me phone calls so that I can land new clients for plumbing services. Hey everyone, thank you for your support watching my videos over the years. If you want to continue to support my channels while also using some of the best marketing tools, you can try either SEMrush or SpyFu if you haven't already. Both are great PPC and SEO tools. If you use the link at the bottom here for either one, they are affiliate links, so it will help support my channel and support Surfside PPC. If you're not interested, no problem. Back to the video. So we're going to click on continue. And for bidding, it's going to say, what do you want to focus on? So we have a couple different options here. The main two you really want to choose from are conversions or conversion value. Since I set that every single 90-second phone call is worth $50 for my business, we're going to choose conversion value. That's going to be what we're optimizing for. Now, automatically, the campaign is going to use the maximize conversion value bid strategy. What we can do is set a target return on ad spend and just make sure our target return on ad spend is positive. So if we set our target ROAS at 150%, what we're saying is that for every $100 we spend, we want to drive $150 in revenue back to our business. So that would be a $50 profit. So that's going to be what we're going to choose for our bidding strategy, and we're going to click on next. Now it's going to be campaign settings. So we're going to do the search network, and we can include Google search partners as well. What we want to do next is set our location. So let's just say, for example, I am serving the Nashville area. So I would enter Nashville here, and you can either choose something like a market. So it's going to be a larger area around Nashville, or I could just choose the city of Nashville. In this case, I'll choose the market. So we'll say, if we come to advanced search here, we'll say I serve this entire area around Nashville. So we're going to keep that as our targeting. Come down here to location options and make sure you're targeting people with presence, not presence or interest, because presence or interest will target people regularly in, or people have shown interest in your targeted locations. Since people are traveling to Nashville all the time and probably showing interest in Nashville all the time, I don't want my ads to show up for them if they're searching for plumbing services and they're nowhere near the Nashville area. So we're just going to choose presence, people in or regularly in our targeted locations. Exclude, we're going to keep as is because we're not excluding anybody from this campaign. We're just targeting that specific area and people in it. So you want to choose your language targeting next. In this case, I'm going to choose English. Now, audience segments, one of the things you can do here is click on audience segments and just come down here to search, and we're just going to search plumbing. Now you can see here what they are actively researching or planning, and you can see plumbing services. So if somebody's looking for plumbing services, they're going to be put into this in-market segment. We can click on this audience, and since we're choosing observation down here, it's not going to narrow the reach of our campaign. If you choose targeting, then you're only going to target people in that in-market segment. I would highly recommend just keeping this as observation, and then we can always adjust the bids for this selected audience segment. So we're going to choose that here for our audience segments. And for dynamic search ads, we're not going to be using dynamic search ads, so we're not going to change anything there. And we're going to click on next. Okay, so next is going to be building out your search campaign. So we're going to start with our first ad group. In this case, I'm only going to create one ad group, and I'll show you how I kind of come up with some different ad groups if I were creating a campaign like this. Let's just say I want one ad group with plumbing services. So you can enter a URL here to scan for keywords on your website. Since I don't have an actual plumbing website, I'm not going to enter a URL here. So what we can do is enter products or services to advertise. So I'm advertising plumbing services. So we'll get keyword suggestions. And you can see all of these different keywords here. So some of these different keywords, something like water heater repair, if that's something that you do as a plumbing company, then copy this keyword. I would either open a notepad or a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet and keep track of some of these different keywords that you're not going to put in this ad group. So in this ad group, I just want to make sure I'm targeting keywords related to plumbing, plumbers, plumbing services, local plumbers near me. So people who are actively searching for a plumber. So we're going to take these keywords like 24-hour plumber near me. Obviously only target this keyword if you do offer 24-hour plumbing services. So something like water heater replacement, we would copy this keyword, put it in our water heater repair. Now with something like Roto-Rooter near me, you can create a separate ad group with just competitor keywords. So any of these top competitors that are large plumbing companies. So I'm not going to put them in this main ad group here. We're going to do 24-hour plumber near me. Now again, leak detection, that would be another ad group. So we're up to 4 already. So we would have leak detection, we would have hot water heater if we do service those, and then we would have a competitor ad group. So we're going to put this in a separate ad group, and then let's just focus on some of these different keywords. Local plumbers near me. Again, drain cleaning is another one, hot water heater repair, city plumbing near me, so we'll get rid of all those, drain cleaning. So all of these are different options that you have that you can target in your campaigns as long as you do all of those things. So if it's a service that your company does, then you might as well target those keywords. So we have plumbing repair, plumbers in my area. We're not going to be doing sump pump installation, but again, another idea there. Plumbing companies, a few more down here that we're going to get rid of. Best plumbing, plumbing and heating, affordable plumbing. So we'll do affordable plumbing and best plumbing. And then what we can do is just make sure we have plumbing services as one of the keywords. So plumbing services. And do we have plumber near me? Okay. So let's make these all phrase match keywords. We're going to put quotes around all the keywords. I highly recommend using phrase match keywords just to make sure you're getting the most targeted traffic. Broad match keywords can be useful, and Google Ads is going to tell you, since we're using smart bidding, to use broad match to get more conversions at a similar or better ROI. With broad match bidding or broad match keywords, we're going to be targeting a lot of unrelated keywords, and you might end up getting phone calls from people who have no interest in hiring a plumber. So we want to make sure all of our keywords that we're targeting are highly relevant. So we have them all here. All of them are phrase match keywords that we're targeting. So let's scroll down here and let's create our call ad. So first things first is our phone number here. We're going to choose our country. And then what you need to do is make sure you put your verification URL. So we're going to copy this URL from our Contact Us page and we're going to paste it right there. So now we have our verification URL here. We don't need to add a final URL since we're just trying to drive phone calls. We're going to have an advertisement that looks like this. And when someone clicks it, it's going to call our business. So let's come down here and create multiple advertisements. Let's start with headline 1. For headline 1, let's do something like your Nashville plumber. Okay, so headline 2, let's do something like call us today. Okay, so pretty simple, your Nashville plumber, call us today. We're gonna end up creating 3 different advertisements. So you wanna use different ad copy on all of them. So for business name, this is gonna be the same. Let's just say our business name is Surfside Plumbing. So you can see right here, we have call our number, Surfside Plumbing, your Nashville plumber, call us today. Now let's enter a few description lines. For these, I'm going to keep the same 2 description lines for all the advertisements. I would recommend testing some different descriptions, but let's just enter a few description lines here. Okay, so we have all of our ad copy here for our first advertisement. So we have our verification URL where our phone number is, Surfside Plumbing, call us today, your Nashville plumber. And then what we have is our description line 1. We have call Surfside Plumbing. We can fix any plumbing problem you are experiencing. 10 plus years in business, fast service. So you just want to have some different things that will encourage people to call your business where they're going to feel better about calling you. Obviously, if you have good reviews and different things like that, put any type of selling point about your business in your description line so that people, any of the hurdles people have where they say, okay, I don't know if I can trust this company, build some trust by showing how long you've been in business, how many 5-star reviews you have, some customer testimonials, whatever you can use to kind of sell people and build some of that trust. Now, next is going to be conversion action. So for this, we're going to choose 90-second phone call and we're going to click on done. So now we have 1 advertisement created here. So what we want to do is create another advertisement. So all we're going to do is change our headlines a little bit. So let's say 24/7 plumbing services. Okay, so 24/7 plumbing services will fix any leak or clog. We're going to keep the description lines the same. You can obviously change those around with some of the different advertisements you have. Our business name will stay the same, and we have our verification URL at the top here, our phone number, and the same conversion action. So we're going to click on done. So now we have 2 separate advertisements. Let's create one more. So let's do for our 2 headlines. Okay, so for the last one, top rated plumber in Nashville, fast and affordable service. So obviously if you have a plumbing problem, you want people to get there quickly and you want to make sure they service any issue you have. So we have top rated, affordable service, fast, all the different things that people might have issues with. So we're going to click on done and now we have 3 different advertisements created. So let's click on next. And now what we need to do is use some ad extensions. So call out extensions would be a perfect for this campaign. If we keep scrolling down, we can choose some of these other extensions. Structured snippet extensions would be perfect. We can show some of the different services we offer. You might want to do a price extension that would allow people to see how much you charge, whether it's just a price to come out, an average price. So you can enter some price extensions there for specific services. And you can also do promotion extensions, maybe something like call us today and get 10% off. So I'm not going to enter any of these call extensions here. Pretty self-explanatory. Call out extension is going to add more information to your ad. You could do things like 24-hour phone service. Down here at the bottom, I have 10 plus years in business. So we'll add these ones here. Okay, so we have 4 different call out extensions. We're not going to do an image extension. If we come to structured snippets, so I actually did another one over here. So service catalog, plumbing, leak detection, emergency services. You could do hot water heater repair, really anything you want. So we have a few different extensions here. So we're ready to click on next. Okay, so let's set our average daily budget. Let's say I want to spend $3,000 over the course of a month. Let's just set our budget at $100 per day. So we're going to be trying to drive phone calls all day long with this campaign. So we have a $100 daily budget and we can click on next. Okay, so the one suggestion they gave us is to create more ad extensions. So we could always do that in the future after we launch our campaign. For now, we're just going to keep it as is. We have our campaign name, our campaign type search, objective leads. Our goal is 90-second phone calls. Our bidding strategy, we're maximizing conversion value with a target return on ad spend of 150%. So networks, it's search partners, targeting Nashville. We have this audience here for plumbing services. Again, we're not just limited to that audience. We're just observing how that audience performs when they do type in our keywords and click on our ads. 9 total keywords we're targeting. You would obviously want to build out more keywords depending on all the services you offer and all the services you want phone calls for. Ads, so 3 different call ads will make sure we're getting the best possible results because Google Ads is going to continue to rotate our ads and serve the ones that drive the most leads. So we have some extensions here, our $100 per day budget. Let's publish our campaign. Okay, and that's it right now. You can see our ad group for plumbing services. So if we click on our ad group and we go into ads and extensions, you can see here the ad type here are call ads. So we have 3 separate call ads. If we click on the plus sign, we can create another call ad here. Since we're just focusing on phone calls, it's just going to allow us to create a call ad. And now we have, if we come back to our all campaign screen, is this Surfside Plumbing campaign is a call only Google Ads campaign. So if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments section. This is perfect for people who are just trying to drive phone calls for their business. That's your only focus. Create a campaign like this and you can really focus on phone calls and phone call leads. Okay, that wraps up this version of my Google Ads course. I want to create another Google Ads course that has more around Google Shopping campaigns and other types of ads that you can run. So this is a good one to get started with because you can learn about 7 different types of campaigns that you can run using different targeting and running your ads across different networks, different advertisements, but ultimately what we're trying to do, drive conversions on our website. So hopefully this Google Ads course was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Thanks for watching my video today.